Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinker Bell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart, adventure and treasure buried in sand, time held its breath in Neverland. But darkness fell on the island fair, a sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one, no respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered, those left behind broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight. Then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost, to build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two, healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. It's Friday. Yes, I always forget, and then I go to do announcements, and I realize it's Friday. It's Friday night. It is time for a little Never here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. It's me, your good buddy Scribe. We've got an amazing game of Dungeons and Dragons for you this evening, but let's get started with a few announcements. We have a Discord. Come and hang out with us on the Discord. When we're not streaming, we hang out there. We do fun memes, and we talk about each other. We share inspirational posts, which sometimes is the thing that gets me through the day. We have a lot of positive people on that channel and who share a lot of love and creativity that way. So yes, be sure to check out the inspiration channel of the Discord. We also have a store. It's an amazing store with some cool shirts, right, buddy?
You're right, buddy. It's such a
Look
good
at
shirt.
that. Yeah, people who rep the brand of Karma. Pretty cool.
I need anything for my dice to roll better.
So be sure to check out the store. It kind of helps us, and it helps keep the lights on, and you get cool merch. We got a few announcements for upcoming shows this week. Tonight is Never. Saturday night, there is nothing going on here because we are going to be elsewhere, and we don't normally stream stuff on Saturday night. Sunday is going to be the first episode of our pen and paper campaign. It's going to be a brand new campaign once a month here on the channel that is sort of technology light. All of our characters are going to be using character sheets. We've got graph paper. I managed to find down the last case of Jolt Cola. This thing's going to get lit. Okay? So tune in for that as Big Mike at 5 o'clock on 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday takes the seat in the DM chair, and I get to play. A couple of good friends of mine that are occasionally on there from Two Chairs Only. Tim is going to be one of our players, and then a good friend of mine named Jay Becker, who does acting here in the Orlando area. He's going to be joining us here at the table as well. So please, come and hang out with us as we have some fun. Indigo's excited because for the first time ever, she's playing a human character.
What? I was given a race in class.
So we'll see what happens.
I don't know what to do with that.
Tune in on Sunday. Monday night, it's your good buddy Scribe playing some video games. We're going to Kingdom Hearts, baby. Not only that, we're going old school Kingdom Hearts, baby. Like we're going to Kingdom Hearts 1 and then working our way through some stuff. So join in for Kingdom Hearts on Monday as we hang out and play some video games. On Tuesday, we go back to Wonder. The entire episode last week was this massive battle for the forest, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the dragon in the woods and what exactly he is, and we're also going to learn a little bit about what's next for our band of adventurers on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, you can catch me and Indigo Chameleon over on the Faster Dragon as our last couple of episodes in Something Wicked over on the Faster Dragon. We've got 2 episodes left. for the two of us, and then that's like we're not doing any more over there. So please tune in for those last 2 episodes, just to say goodbye to these characters. That's on Wednesday night, and then Thursday we will cycle back around to. There's something going on. I just gotta remember what it is. It's gonna be great. You want to find out? You'll have to tune into the Discord. You'll find out all the information that you need. Oh my, I'm gonna be using that voice more. So tune in for welcome to the main stage, Dragon. Tune into the Discord and you'll find out what exactly is happening then. And I think that is it. Once upon a time in Neverland, our group of adventurers made their way to this dungeon. This was Skull Rock. The last episode was dedicated to exploring Skull Rock and the traps and secrets found therein. If you did not tune into last episode, Nell, our pixie, was pushed through by a mysterious figure, and nothing to allude to her identity but the tinkling of bells, pushed her through and lifted the spell that she had cast upon her. Nell had apparently been transformed into a pixie and was being held in that state as a punishment for trying to learn and infiltrate pixie society and get close. So Nell was pushed through, and it turns out that Nell was actually a tiefling girl by the name of Eris, who is connected to the chaotic magic that surrounds us and binds us, and it's made by midichlorians. Yeah, and we like to welcome Eris. While the group was exploring the dungeon, they came across this mysterious bag. Inside the bag was a handsome, oh so handsome adventurer, and the person who created that handsome adventurer. So, Fortunado was in the bag and popped out. And Fortunado is an inventor, an artificer, if you will, of magical and mystical things, including, what were some of the items that you introduced?
Invisible
the ring of
ring.
invisibility.
Ring of invisibility.
The ring of invisibility, which of course, when you place it upon your finger, the ring turns completely invisible.
And the X-ray glasses.
The X-ray glasses that are so powerful they allow you to see through absolutely everything, so you see nothing, as they just keep going on. Infinity.
The ring of fire detection.
The ring of fire detection.
We won't talk about that one.
Wolfgren, Indigo Jima, and Action Sturge, one of my favorite usernames I've ever seen. Welcome to Neverland tonight. As this was happening, Des Baha'i and Slowpoke decided to take it upon themselves to track down some of these odd-looking creatures that seem to be hunting the group. As Des Baha'i and Slowpoke made their way across the side of the dungeon, facing off against these creatures, finding a nest and eliminating them, the group made their way upstairs and through a series of interesting traps and experiences, including a sheep that sucked them in, where they had to fight, a painting that sucked them in, they had to fight these weird sheep paint hybrid monstrosities, a fire trap that Cal was able to expertly detect, and
You detected it.
I found
You
it.
sure did.
And we're so proud.
some interesting treasures, a container of water that was the most amazing container of water in the history of the world, a jar of dirt, a tinderbox, some other interesting magical items as well were found and discovered, leading them to the topmost room of this dungeon. At the highest point was a tree of sorts whose vines seemed to be growing throughout the entirety of the dungeon. The tree had 4 chambers to it, and inside of the 4 chambers there was one lone seed that seemed to have been left behind. 3 empty chambers left in that major tree. Upon investigation of this tree, it was determined to be some sort of mega tree that the seeds were used to transplant, or father tree, if you were, whose seeds could be used to grow something that the group is unaware of what it could grow. Maybe an entire civilization of plant people.
I say we destroy it.
So, so that is what happened at the very end of the episode. Explorers,
Yeah.
before you jump across the table at each other, you have found your way to the center of this area. Near the center entrance of the room, there are 2 exits. This group has spent a good majority of the time exploring the topmost section. There is another door that leads down below. this central area, thanks to the good work of Desbahai and Slowpoke, has been cleared of these clackers, for lack of a better term, these bone monstrosities that seem to have been.
It might have been the most
clacking.
amazing battle you've ever seen.
Actually, roll a d20 for me.
Oh, you had to talk.
No, he's the one who talked.
7.
Des, you roll a battle. You roll a d20 for me.
17?
He goes in, and you guys actually finally meet up in the central area, and Des is walking in, and she's setting up camp for everyone, and you see him and Slowpoke's telling everyone about this amazing battle.
It was amazing. We found a keg of... We were overwhelmed. We found a keg of black powder. Desbahai threw her axe at it. I shot my arrow, creating a spark. It exploded the entire thing, killing off all these little bony things.
As he's speaking, Des is like making stuff. She's not even looking at you. She's like,
I'd love to roll insight on the story.
sure.
See,
Roll an
Slowpoke took
insight.
out 3 of them.
He's lying.
That I
Yeah, Des is covered in what looks to be little cuts and nicks that even now she's got this amazing sort of ointment that she carries with her. I think she's putting the ointment on her skin and stuff like that. Everybody you look at the rest of the group and everyone is beat up. There's odd stains over some of them. What would look to be like paint stains. Some look like dirt stains. Some look like they walked through the fire. Because where else can I turn? Yeah, and everybody meets up in this central area. We're resting. Go ahead and everyone. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for the sake of brevity and for the amazing work that Desbahai and Slowpoke did. This area has been cleared out. You don't have to take watches. You guys can just rest in this area. Everybody mark down a long rest. Equip any items that you may have found during that adventure. And you all find yourselves, after a suitable long rest, raring and anxious to go through the second half of this dungeon.
Right. Carry forward then.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the best. That seems to be the best thing to do so far. We got the top half done.
Yeah.
Middle half's done. Go bottom.
Cool. You guys make your way over to this entrance that leads below. As you make your way over, once again, it's a sort of darkened passageway. This darkened passageway, if you have dark vision, that's fine. You should be fine. If you don't, you're going to be making a lot of these perception checks at disadvantage unless someone is to create light of some sort or has a way.
I would be happy to. I did that last time.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you doing this?
Light. I create light. I'll just. Gosh, I so want to light Cal's head on. Like, I want to light up his head.
Like
so bad. I want
inside the
him to be a
skull so it
glowing
comes out
skull.
of his
Listen,
eyes.
I'm being
Want
a
to
nice
use it
memory from what had happened last time.
Cal, would you like to be our light?
Sure.
All of a sudden, Cal's head lights up, and there's a.
Your ghost rider.
It's taken every inch of me not to take that one potion that makes my eye sockets go really big right now.
Kyle, if you open your mouth, it would act like a
minor
torch.
illusion.
Just
Yeah. What was it?
Minor illusion.
Do I have a flaming head now?
No, you've got huge eyes.
Nice.
Like,
Bright head, huge eyes.
I'm gonna say they're high
Just
beams.
looks like the front
Nice.
of a car.
I've got
Yes.
halogens
Doesn't
for
even know what a
eyes.
car is.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
here it is.
When your eyes are open, it's like even more of a focused bright light. So you've got your high beams on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Cool.
Deacon Smith, welcome, Avarium Gaming. What's up, guys? So you make your way over to this small entrance that leads down. As you look down, there is a set of stairs that leads from the top of this entrance all the way down to the bottom. Who is going first?
I guess I'm gonna go first.
right. Yes. I don't mind falling right behind there.
Okay, Cal, and then
Jumping in third then.
Slowpoke.
I don't want to miss anything.
I'm just going to use this as my order from here on in.
Okay.
Cal, Slowpoke, Thistle,
Me.
I'll drag him with me.
Just like I'm going after that. That's fine.
Fortunato, Desbahai,
You reading up the route?
And then
Yes,
me,
no.
or
I'll go last.
Eris,
Cliff is left, yeah.
Clip. Cool.
Enjoy finding
Cal,
those traps.
Yeah.
you take a step, and you're sort of just walking down this area. You are lighting up the area extremely well.
Don't worry, guys. I got dark vision.
As you step onto that second step, there is a boop, boop, boop,
Stop.
boop, 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 boop,
What happens when you just charge ahead?
Let's go. Go.
Cal will disappear, as well as Slowpoke, and you hear this thump from outside as you guys are sort of levitated 10 feet above the ground in that circular room, and then you both fall to the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
You each take, let's say, we'll just round it up. We'll say you take like a couple of points of damage. You each take 2 points of damage as you, give me athletics checks. We'll see if you guys can like break your fall. Athletics or acrobatics?
Cool. 15?
15? Yeah, I'd say you really get that 2-point fall.
Cool. I was gonna take 1 point.
11.
11. Yeah, you only take 1 point of damage as the wind is knocked out of you as the two of them are transported away.
So
from that spot.
they poofed up. They didn't just like start flying or
So
levitating.
you guys wouldn't see this. Eris and Clip hear this thump because they're the last ones to start
Oh, it's
walking down the
behind us.
stairs. It's behind you in that central room.
Yeah.
That they just get transported.
Oh.
Like right back
Got
where we
it.
started.
Now I see.
But we obviously
Where'd
see
they go?
them disappear
How
because
dark
of the
is
light
it?
source.
Yeah,
It is now dark.
it's real dark.
I don't have dark vision.
So I don't.
Me neither.
Oh, because they're gone and yeah,
Yeah.
it's dark.
This
yeah,
one's up
so,
next.
Where'd you guys go?
Hold
It's
until
dark
they're
now.
back. Behind us.
Yeah, we can just
Yeah,
come
let's
back
move back
in.
all the way back up.
Yeah, they
Like
come
me.
back and they're at the back of the group.
So
So
that
I will
didn't
say
work,
this.
just so you all know.
Slowpoke, Thistle, Fortunata, Dez, Eris, and Clip. You guys are the ones that are on the stairs.
Do you have any cool light things in that bag of yours?
Edwin, and he's just gonna like put Edwin in his hand. He's gonna tap him a couple of times, like he's not working, and then he's just gonna blink. And he's gonna give off 5 feet of dim, or 5 feet of bright and 10 feet of dim.
What do we see in front of us?
A glowing rabbit.
You see it.
Oh my.
He's not wrong.
You look at the rabbit. You think, what's up?
You feel determined.
Doc, give me an investigation check. Where are you looking?
I'm looking straight ahead of us where they were before they weren't there anymore.
Cool. Give me a perception check then.
It's really dark.
11.
They're not there
No,
anymore.
I know. I'm trying to see if there's an effect or something that would make them disappear.
Okay,
Looking for
then
traps,
that's
so-
investigation.
Yes,
So re-roll.
okay.
Re-roll.
Aw, you're so nice.
I am very nice to you.
I have a -1 to investigation, so that's a 12.
12. You're looking around the area, and as you look around, you bend down and sort of try to angle yourself so that you are looking at the bottom of the stairs, and you see a picture of a person.
A picture of a person.
On your step, you look down and you see a little picture of a person.
Does it look like the person we keep seeing in all the pictures that are on the ceiling?
No, this looks generic. It just looks like almost like a stick figure. That
Okay,
looks
so
to be
stick figure
unisex.
doing something?
It is standing on the step. So imagine a step in front of you, and
Okay.
then like on that little like lip of the step,
Okay.
like in
There's
the
a
middle.
person there.
There's a little person right there.
Is there a person on the next step?
Down or up?
Down, because like we're standing,
Yeah.
the place where they disappeared had a little person on it. Is there a person on the step after that?
So you take another step forward to where
No,
they
I don't want to
disappeared.
step on the person because they disappeared. So I want to see, because I want to try to hop the step if there's not a person on the next step.
You would have no way of knowing that unless you got to a point where you're able to look
Oh,
down.
okay, so I can't see. Okay. All right. There's a person on the step.
Well,
All right.
anybody else want to try
disappeared.
not stepping on that step?
Let me see
That's
what I
was
can
thinking.
find out about this. Can I, assuming it's a trap,
Sure. Yeah. What are you? You're just looking for a trap?
gonna look at and then try to disarm.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
It's a 14.
Okay. I think Fortunato takes his tinkerer's tools and he's sort of examining the area around it. He finds a little groove etched into the wall, and he uses one of those really like fine point tinkerer's tools and digs out this little groove that's been covered with dirt over time. And sure enough, it's an arcane sigil. There's no mechanical trap present here. If there is a trap present here, it's arcane in nature.
All right.
Am I allowed to retcon that before we went to bed, I would have brought my familiar back because I totally forgot he died a fiery death?
Sure, I would say you're able to bring that familiar
Okay.
back. Yes.
Welcome back, Scritch.
That's great.
I give him about 10 minutes before he's dead again, but you know,
Sure.
It's worth a shot.
because I was about to have him jump on the step.
Just for kicks and giggles, while they're looking at it, I want to find look at the walls and the floor, just for any.
After he points this out to you,
Yeah.
you get the message like, Cal, or open your eyes a little bit. And Cal opens his eyes really big and lights up the stairway. And knowing this now, you guys all start digging around the area. I will say with enough time and with enough light, I'm not going to make you guys do an investigation check. There are little men carved into all of the stairs, starting at the topmost one, but they get considerably smaller. One takes up the entirety of the stair, and with each step downward, it's the same crudely drawn, child-drawn stick figure that gets littles and littles and littles and littles and littles.
So these stick figures are also just like plain stick figures. It doesn't look like they're doing any action.
It does not, from
It's just
what
like-
you guys are able to intune, it doesn't look like these stick figures are doing anything.
Can we see the next step past the one right in front of us?
You can take a step forward and take a look at that step if you like.
How tall is this passageway?
This passageway is, we'll say pretty tall. We'll say like, what, 15 feet tall? Like a stairway?
Can Scritch jump onto the next step and then look at the next step?
Sure.
Okay, Scritch does that.
Okay.
Does he disappear?
It's a little picture of a man.
Okay, and he doesn't disappear on that next step.
Scritch does not.
Cool. I hop on
Actually,
the next step.
Scritch definitely does
Oh,
not.
he definitely does not. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to try
Okay.
in flying up and continue flying past
Okay.
by not touching the steps.
Okay. You fly past.
Mm-hmm.
You fly past her. You fly past Clip, and you hear whoa, 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 whoa,
I fly
whoa,
back.
whoa, 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 whoa. And you start flying back. And then
Okay.
you pop out. But instead of falling, you're just sort of floating in that central room again.
Cool.
Hey, well,
How many stairs does it look like there are more of? Because Cal's lighting up the passageway. So does it look like we're pretty close to the end of the stairs? Or
No, you still got about halfway to go.
Okay. So
Yeah.
quite a few.
As Scritch takes a step forward, like you just keep sending Scritch forward, and
Yeah.
Scritch manages to make it all the way down the stairs.
All right. What does he see at the bottom of the stairs?
He sees give me a perception check for Scritch.
It's for Scritch, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be a. Wait, I'm seeing if he. No, he doesn't have advantage. Perception is wisdom, correct? That's a 14.
Scritch looks off to the left, and he sees a chair that's floating in the air. That seems to be just like sort of hovering, like just sort of floating in the air. And as he looks to the right, he sees another hallway. So a hallway to the left with a chair floating at the end of the hallway, almost a la Haunted Mansion. And then
Okay.
if you look to the right, there are 4 torches on this wall and 3 torches on the opposite wall. And that's all he sees.
Guys, there's a floating chair at the bottom. On that side, and on that side, there's torches.
that's cool for down there, but how do we get down there?
I don't know. How far would it be to like do a big fancy jump, like from this step all the way to the bottom? Is that really far?
It's not. It's a flight
Well,
of
we tried flying
stairs.
through.
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't-
tried to fly through, which.
But what if we
clearly
just
And
commit?
she was able to loop back.
But what if we just
no, I
commit
just
to
didn't
it?
fall because
How
I was
about this?
flying.
Yeah, but you still couldn't make it to the opposite side of whatever
Yeah.
imaginary force field
Right.
Give
is
me
right here.
you give me insight checks, everybody. You give me insight at advantage based on your background.
21.
21.
Oh, not 20.
Nat 20. Add it's an ability check, so add your insight to this.
23.
23,
13.
13,
Yes.
Eris,
13.
13,
18.
18,
8.
8,
17.
17. 17 and up, you guys realize that for the most part, even though some of the magic has been complex and some of the traps have been a little deadly, there's the hand of a child on a lot of this. So even though this magic is powerful, the trap itself must have
A loophole.
game or some sort of thing to it that happens. With my nat 20, you flash back to a memory this morning,
Okay.
and it's the first time you ever laid eyes on Peter and the Lost Boys,
Okay.
and they were singing a song and walking through the forest, singing this song, and it got stuck in your head for days, and you don't remember the words, but it was.
Oh, it's stuck in my brain.
Yeah, and you're just like, you went to the bar and you were like sitting there drinking a drink and like you were humming it to yourself, and the bartender was like, have another one on me.
Oh, thanks,
And
man.
then he like looks down he nods at the guy down the table, and the guy like looks at you and he's like, whatever you think of. And then he just like drinks a little bit.
I was like, what kind of cult?
Do you relay that to the rest of us?
Yeah, that definitely bring
Right,
it back.
but-
Be like,
And would we know the song? Like,
Those of you who have a history, and you would have no clue, but
That's
everybody
all right,
else,
Peter.
Here's
Yeah.
an interesting question. Do I remember now?
you do.
I still do.
Everything that she remembers,
Okay.
Eris also has access to.
Okay.
You just don't view certain aspects of it with the vitriol that she
Yeah.
had.
Got it.
right. So we have to follow the leader apparently, which means follow this stick man.
Intelligence check, buddy.
Oh.
Is there a stick man?
Where?
When he disappeared,
Hold on. Where's intelligence? Where? Oh, that's. Ooh, 10.
Yeah.
So looking at the markings on the wall, does it look like they're like following each other?
It looks like they're following each other, and they're getting smaller to larger.
Okay.
Oh,
Scritch made it through fine.
because he's the small one.
Because he was
so I have to be next.
Oh, right. Of course.
That makes
Or does the rabbit have to be first? Does animals count? Does Slowpoke have to go next?
I don't think so
It's
because
Do we have to wait till
bigger
s-
than a
because
rabbit?
if Scritch
Yes.
because
Slowpoke.
but if Scritch could go, because Edwin would be smaller than Scritch,
Yeah.
so I don't think it makes.
I think it's just us.
I'm the
at this
smallest.
point.
Who goes behind me?
Correct.
So,
Well-
if we look back at the neat picture that was drawn, it'd
Oh,
be
that's
this little
right. Except I don't
Oh,
know how
oh,
tall
there's
you
like-
are.
I'm 5'7".
5'7".
All right. I'll be taller than you then.
Okay.
Mhm. So it would be
Can
you
we just
next,
say we
I
line up
bet.
by size?
Then
You all line up by size in the magical world that Gary Gygax has created for all of us.
And then, just to make it difficult, as we're going down the steps, just in case it makes a difference,
Oh man.
I go down the steps in a fun way. I jump, a hand up in the air, just to make them follow me in whatever way I'm walking down the stairs.
Do you
I go, "Ugh."
follow Thistle's lead?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone
We're all
goes down the
singing
stairs.
to the-
Everybody goes down the stairs, and some of them look happier about it than others.
I'm down. Let's get it.
But you finally make your way down the stairs, and everyone makes it down the stairs
That's
in
the
one
part.
piece.
I'm contractually obligated to dance funny.
To the left of where you all stand is a hallway. To the left. There's a chair that seems to be floating in the air in front of a doorway.
That's spooky.
How high up
Yeah.
is the chair?
Who's
Floaty chair.
chair?
The chair is, I would say it's about eye level for you, and it's when I say floating, I don't mean like stationary in place, almost as if it's
like moving.
moving slowly.
See,
like-
even better. Can you put me up in the chair?
Oh god.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna
Let's-
hold on really, really tight.
Okay.
No one's
This sounds
objecting, so I'm gonna.
Yes, go for it.
No, just, I want to see what happens.
Give me a strength check as you are put on the chair and the chair just begins to like turn and she's like, I'm in the chair.
That's I'm pretty sure I'm super strong.
Mm-hmm.
As
That
it's-
would be a 12 plus 0.
As you,
Can I tilt it back as it tilts the other way?
you put her in the chair and she's like, I'm in the chair. And she's like floating. But as she starts to turn, the longer she sits in the chair, all of a sudden as the chair flips upside down, she's also floating as well. So as you turn the chair up, like she's also now
Oh,
sort
geez.
of floating. Like Thistle, you're floating in the air, having
Okay.
sat in the chair.
But
for a
not
little bit.
sitting in the chair? Oh, like I'm now
you were sitting in the chair
floating.
and then like you were having to hold on. You were
Like the
having to
chair
hold
made
on,
me float.
and then you're having to hold on less because you're just moving with the general rotation.
You guys, I can fly.
What could possibly go wrong?
Does anybody else want to sit in the chair?
I want to go examine the torches.
Okay. Yeah. There is. I want to be clear about this.
There's
the chair
4.
is floating in front of a door. Okay. Like it's okay. So you go and examine the torches.
I'm gonna float down towards the,
The
door and
one
hopefully
with
every.
the one with
Yeah.
4. That side.
I'm gonna climb
of the room.
onto the chair.
Investigation
I wanna
check,
fly
please,
too.
Eris. As Eris kind of separates just a little
18.
bit to go look at the torches. 18. There are 4 torches lined up against the wall. All of them look to just be like sturdy iron torches.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are lit.
Okay.
These like torches against the wall.
Okay.
The 3 on the other side are lit,
It's lit. Okay.
and you're like, this place is lit,
I close my
and you
eyes.
don't know why.
You don't know why you do this motion,
Is
but
that
it's here.
chair? That chair
It's
made me
the
do
The chair made
Okay.
me down.
Her arm just floats.
I can't stop.
I climb up on the chair.
Cool. Yeah, the same thing sort of happens. With
I
you.
help Thistle
Where
down.
are you going, Thistle?
I'm
You-
floating around. I'm gonna float towards that door
As
with
you,
my mage hand.
yeah, you sit in the chair, and it's the same thing. Give me a strength check, Fortunato. As you're floating in the chair, and the longer you kind of sit around it. But you're like, look at me, I'm floating in the, oh shit, and, like, and you just sort of fall and smack your face. You take a point of damage as you land on your face. And like the bunny is there, but he's like sort of like upside down looking at you as you're on the ground. As you smash your face though, like the magic kicks in, and that's when you start floating just a little bit. It's a door, looks very sturdy, good craftsmanship.
Can I try? Does it have a doorknob?
It does.
Can I try opening it with my mage hand?
The question no one in D&D has ever
Does the
asked
door have
is
a
there a
doorknob?
doorknob?
Mage hand opens the door. Inside is a very large space that looks like an eating hall, like tables lined up alongside the wall, except the entire room is floating. Food, chairs, tables, plates, forks, candles, everything in this room is like
Thinking more Mary Poppins.
I know I was going Mary Poppins.
everything is floating in the air.
Guys, hurry up and sit in the chair. There's a room to play in.
I want to mage hand one of the torches that is lit
Okay.
and light the other 4.
Okay. You very easily she yells, "Guys, come play!" And you're like, "Yes, torch!" And you
Wait, fire. What fire?
Vision is important.
as you light the other 4 torches, there is a like a deep breath that sounds in the chamber, and the door, a sword drops from the ceiling.
Cool.
It just sort of clangs like almost like handle first, like ding 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 ding,
In
and
the
lands
corner?
in front of a door that's in front of the torches. Like a sword just dunk and it hits the ground.
I would like to mage hand and pick it up.
It's
Like
light
a
enough for you
lift
to do because it's made of wood.
Okay.
It's a little wooden sword, and you have this little wooden sword.
Okay.
Who is going into the floating space?
I think-
I will go
2,
with them
3.
as
I'll
well.
go last.
I'm really interested in that sword.
Okay,
Well,
you're going
I
as
got
well.
it. Yeah, I'm going with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go
I
with-
just wanted
Yeah.
to light the torches.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you
Now
guys all make your
it's
way to
right
the
in here.
space. You don't sit in the, like, some of you do sit in the chair, but the Des, even you who are standing by the door being like, well, this looks fun, I don't trust it. Like, you're holding onto the wall, and just being in proximity to the opening of the door, like, you feel your feet
I
start to
just start
raise
like
up off.
walking though.
you,
I'm
start, you start power walking. Like,
I'm like, all right.
Uh,
Shit.
the-
Here we go again.
We've got to stop this.
So the room is filled with floating bits of food, chairs, cups.
What kind of food?
Is it bad food? Is it spoiled?
How about this? No,
Okay.
nothing in the room. Everybody go around the table and tell me one piece of food that's in this room.
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes,
Biscuits and gravy.
biscuits and gravy,
Mutton.
a
with, like, the
mutton
little
leg.
cherries.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
really
that
good.
thing.
Yeah.
It's cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Bowls of brightly colored icing.
Bowls of brightly colored icing.
I can't remember. I
Yeah.
can't remember food.
Oh
You
no,
had chicken.
Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan.
oh, yeah. Then yeah, bacon. Oh.
Bacon. I love it.
The bowl of really good fruit.
Really good fruit. You guys walk into this space.
You
And
might-
there's a multitude of different foods and things of that sort. You don't notice any liquids floating in the air. All of the liquids seem to be in the cups themselves as you're in the room.
The back of the room, does it just look like it ends like a classic dining hall?
Des, you come in.
Yeah.
As you come in, there's a fireplace, and as you get closer to the fireplace, there's this like odd moment where you get a little, but there's a cage around the fireplace, and the logs are floating, but they're being held in place.
And the
With
fire is floating?
The fire is floating, but there's a cage around the fireplace that
Okay.
seems to be holding it in. So
Gotcha.
the minute Des goes in, that door closes, and there is a click.
Oh, don't like that.
Oh my.
Now, this is the part where you ask me, is there a doorknob on the other side of the
Oh.
The answer is yeah, there is. We get out and everything's fine.
Is there a doorknob on the other side of the door?
There is. It's really pretty. It looks like a fish. No, there's no doorknob.
It looks like a fish.
But the thing is, the really pretty doorknob is invisible.
It's a doorknob of
Fix it.
invisibility.
I have a ring of doorknob.
Comes right through the door. I got it's a doorknob.
Prototype.
Okay, so is there anything on the floor or on the walls or on the ceiling, or is
Yeah.
everything detached?
Okay, so how do you look?
I'm flipping and spinning and swimming.
Swimming.
Yes.
So just swimming.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, give me investigation checks at disadvantage
Yes.
as you are getting used to
That
this
tracks.
feeling of.
Because I would like to help investigate too.
And
But I'm
yeah.
You can
used to.
assist her, or you can do your own investigation check
Right.
straight up
Yeah.
at. It's gonna be strange for you.
Yeah.
Because this
'Cause it's
isn't
still-
flying.
yeah.
This is
Nat
floating.
one.
Alright.
What are we doing? Investigation?
You're like, I think I found
14.
The doorknob, no!
A 14.
14.
Shoot.
You said investigation?
It is investigation.
21.
I don't know.
21. You are searching around this area. Everybody's having a hard time sort of navigating the space, pushing through with the food and things of that sort.
I'm holding bits of me together.
That is very
It's with the 21.
I'm waiting for things like to fall apart.
There's got to be something arcane in this this space. You don't find any sort of markings or drawings on the wall. I would say that you're about to give up when the two of you looking. She jostles something, like she's like looking for something, she pushes something to the side, and one of the plates flies through the air, and the back side of the plate has a word written on it.
I catch it.
What languages do you speak?
I speak common and undercommon.
You cannot read this word, but it is written in a script that you are that you recognize it to be language. You have no idea what it says.
Hey, who speaks language?
Is it Sylvan?
I speak
I'm
language.
sorry, no, I have
Also
to write
speak
that
language.
quote.
Language.
Which of you speaks?
Which
language?
I speak language.
I speak
language?
wolf, bear, rabbit, dog.
I don't speak this language.
Languages.
Common giant.
Who speaks Sylvan?
Sylvan.
Yeah, she's
Because
been.
everything so far here has been in Sylvan.
Oh, I used to.
You did used to.
You
Does
used to
that
could.
count?
Nope,
No.
Okay.
That's one of the things
Okay.
that just happens to be.
You used to could.
Oh,
I
I
could.
frisbee
So
it
much.
over to Thistle as soon as she's paying attention because I know she's swimming and stuff like that.
Thistle, heads up.
Are you ready?
D20. I can't not do this. I can't not do this.
D10, Wyatt.
Add your dex.
Thistle
Two
catch.
not to do.
And this is a flag?
That one. Perfect.
No!
Everybody roll percentile dice.
What?
Do, 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 do.
And you found my
I've done the thing before.
97.
25.
23.
4.
Oh.
4.
99.
Hey!
26.
49.
Okay. Cal gets smacked in the face by this plate. And she's like, Thistle, catch. No. As this thing smacks Cal
Please,
in
can
the
it
face.
like do like a hit and like slow motion? No!
Cal
Does
goes,
it break? Does it break one of those?
No,
one
it
of
can't
those-
break.
His eyeballs?
I think Cal flies backward and his skull pops off, but in his mouth is the plate. Like, the rest of his body is there, but the skull just sort of goes drifting off into space.
Oh no, this has never happened before.
Usually it's the
As you
bone
look
being
over
caught in
and
the
see
mouth.
this in the
Am I
back
right?
of your
That's-
head, you
is
just
that
hear a
not the
voice
thing?
that says, well, I guess this is how you die.
And that's how it dies.
Not again.
Cal, have you used up any spell slots?
I have not.
Okay.
Somebody needs to come up with a game where you throw plates. This is great.
How about
Is there
hit
a
my
plate
head?
nearby?
Someone
Like,
just grab my
otherwise-
I'm gonna
head.
take his head and put it back on.
Wait, we never figured out what was on the plate.
Can I grab another
No,
plate
it's in my mouth.
out of midair?
No, my head's
Or
in
the
my
one
mouth.
out of his...
I will take the
Can I grab it out of his face? Oh, okay. I'll look at it if you grab it
As
out.
you go over to where Cal is glowing a bit. Like Cal is like
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's the light.
Did I light his head on fire? I mean, light?
it's a different glow than the light that was being cast on his head. This is almost a shimmery glow, like a dust.
Like dramatic glitter?
Like dramatic glitter. Not only that, but as you like look, you guys go, hey, Cal's. You look over at Dez, and Dez is also glowing.
You're sparkly.
As you take the plate out of his teeth and flip it around to the backside,
Am I sparkly too?
you are not. The plate says play.
Okay, can I look for another plate and see if it also says play?
Yeah, do tell.
Yes, I
She
say it
says
says play! We've been
It's-
given permission.
As soon as she says that, I want to take the icing and throw it at Slowpoke.
Dex, yep, D20, add your dex.
That's 16.
16, big glob of icing. Like in the face.
Nailed it! That was really good.
I imagine Slower Poke,
Slowpoke
who I
in
keep
the
on,
face.
who I keep on my head now. Slower Poke is just licking the lips.
As Slower Poke like reaches down, he's just like, but it's not a quick thing. It's like a. Like, it's a as Slowpoke licks the icing, he begins to glow. So does Eris, and so does Slowpoke. So Slowpoke, Slowpoke, and Eris. all we
Eris,
throw.
throw me one of those gloves. He takes off his arm.
Flip, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take 2 apples
Okay.
from a big bowl of fruit
Okay.
and just go over and go.
Just in his eyes.
Never mind, I can't do that because I can't see now.
Clip, who doesn't say much, goes, "How do you like them apples?" Cool. What is everybody else doing?
I'm gonna grab icing or mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mashed
No,
potatoes.
biscuits and gravy. That's what it was. Right into
As
first.
it comes at me, I'm going to cast Ray of Frost at it. No.
Oh no! Can I have an acrobatics for over the top of the head now?
Both of you do contested death checks to see who gets there first.
It's a 15.
5.
You go, no. and Ray of Frosted.
I'm going to go grab one of the plates and put it in my pocket of many hands.
All right.
What? I'm just gonna take a
It's an
piece of
artificer.
bacon and just drop it.
Bacon just sort of drops.
Okay.
Or just-
I'm gonna fly forward and get a big old glob of frosting,
Frosting.
and then I'm going to grab it with my mage hand and sneak behind him, and right over the top.
And while
of the
this is
head.
happening, I take another one and go straight for his face.
Ow. I will give you
You're gonna play
dex checks at a disadvantage. You two give me attacks.
Oh! Boy, that's in that 20.
It's a 16.
My
I
arms
need
do
to
the
stop
thing
rolling
again.
this one. I can't roll you like it. It's fine.
Thistle goes. Thistle.
That's a 9.
Thistle throws it, and as she does, you dodge out of the side, and you're like, ha, to the face. At this point, everyone is glowing, and as that happens, the plates float back over. The cups set up, and the door swings open.
Nice.
Oh.
Here we go. Problem solved.
We did it there.
You got a little something right there.
You should have
Got a
played
lot of
sooner.
something.
Oh.
You're not wrong. Edwin. And Edwin and I are just going to start flinging food.
Yeah, you are able to. The food does not float anymore, but you were just like, ah. It turns into a free-for-all as people spend a good chunk of time throwing food and enjoying. If anyone has used a spell slot or lost any HP at this juncture, you can return those spell slots and return that HP.
You can take your
Nice.
So anyone
I
that,
didn't
that
take anything.
Oh, wait, you didn't?
I think he was the
the
one who took damage.
door,
Oh, he took one.
the door opens up.
Before we leave, I want to look around under the table
Okay.
for things.
And I'll just do
Fancy
an
things.
examining of like the room itself now that everything's down as
Yeah.
well. To
Cal
see if
particularly
we're
wants to
missing
go to the
anything.
mantle. of
You're gonna
fire.
look around and just check to see if stuff's missing from the tables and stuff.
Just to get like a perception of the room, see if anything's like catching my eye that wasn't there
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
Now that everything's like settled
Yeah.
and normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't notice the giant crocodile in the
Never
corner.
mind.
Surprise.
Only got a 10.
You got
That's
some.
the hive, so I'm not
It's
expecting
just
anything.
You find you don't. You're looking around the room and there doesn't seem to be a lot. Like there's the table set up and and everything sort of cleans up and sets itself up. Even you, Eris, as you like start looking under the tables and finding things, it's hard to. It's hard to see anything under these tables. You don't find any sort of special carvings or things of that sort as you look about the space.
Okay.
You do as you're leaving see that same odd script that was written on the plates, written above the door frame. It doesn't look like it's written on the plates, like it's like gold inlay like the plates. This looks like it was carved, like somebody left graffiti behind.
Is it also in silver?
Yes.
I want to grab this all before
Yeah.
and point it out to her.
This, let's point it out to you, and carved above the door is almost like somebody wrote something in a hurry, and
Castle of
and it equates to if you're gonna bring something back, bring this.
He says we need to lighten up.
Oh. Well,
Well,
we
it
already
doesn't
did
say
that with
exactly
Cal,
that.
so.
It's hard. It's like a weird dialect thing. It's either like if you're gonna bring something back, bring this, or leave the other stuff behind and get this.
Okay.
The door?
Well, no, leave the other stuff behind and get this, or bring this with you,
Could it
something
be
like
a-
that.
The door frame?
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I
it's
think
just
it might be us
the
just
I think
flaxing.
it's.
play.
Mhm. I think that's what it is too. I think it's a warning about some of the things we could find in this place.
Or maybe the icing.
You could bring the icing too. That's a good.
Also true.
I mean,
Can I unhinge the door frame with?
this is when Clint just yanks it off the frame.
If you wanted to.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, you live your truth. Chase that paper, like you do you.
Use a slower poke as a screwdriver. I really wish I had a screwdriver.
Once again, Fortunato's like, tool. No.
No, just hacking at it with the sword. It's like, well,
Casual primitives here, I guess. It's,
You
You're all doing well.
leave this room.
okay.
As soon as we're out, I'm just gonna start using prestidigitation to clean myself off.
You're like, this was so much fun. Clean, 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 clean. Yeah.
Oh, I want to fix that. Can I fix that? I don't think I have
After
stuff.
spending 5 minutes.
All right, you are at the side. You are at the far left
Yeah.
hallway. Past where you are standing, you see the faint outlines of a door, and those 7 torches have been lit.
Okay. I want to look up where the sword fell.
There's a tiny hole that looks like the sword was sticking like straight up. Like if you weren't, and it's flush with the wood. If you would have taken in D&D parlance, it would have taken a very high perception or investigation check to see this little patch of stone that was actually wood. As you are looking up, there's the door right immediately to your right. As you walk forward down this hallway, there's another hallway that seems like it's leading off.
Okay.
So we push forward.
Right. Yes.
Sounds good.
We
We-
head down
and
the
we
hall.
do.
Okay, there's a
That's-
hall. There's a doorway right next to you. This doorway is so like right where the sword fell. There's
Okay.
also a doorway like right where the sword sort of fell down,
Okay.
past the torches. The sword fell in front of the doorway, which is odd because as you look at the door, there is no doorknob, but there is a sort of slot like in the center of the door that you could
Oh.
put the sword
Yes,
in.
let's.
If only we found a sword.
Got it.
Oh, right.
In the space it's a dirt pit. And in this dirt pit are 2 white circles that look to be like stones that are set up in the dirt pit.
Okay.
Okay.
Cal's gonna walk in and look at the stone rings.
Okay,
pit,
from the
right home.
outside or the inside of the circle?
It's not gonna. He saw the room and the other room didn't hurt him, so he's gonna walk in.
Into the circle?
Yeah.
Cal walks into the circle, and as he does, you see a bag manifest in between where the 2 white circles are facing each other. A bag sort of drops from the ceiling, and as like about 15 gold coins drop into the bag.
Do-do-do-do.
I
Okay, I'll
hop
jump
in
on
the
it.
other
Yeah,
circle.
go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
Do it.
hop in the other circle. Yeah.
Good. 15 more coins drop into the bag, and then the 2 white circles light up, and then 100 more coins drop into the white bag. As this room, the sand glows, including the white circles, and there's almost like a visible like as the white circles release, and the 2 of you are standing in the room.
Take the gold.
I mean, you can have it. I just.
Take the gold.
Your hand reaches up to get the gold, and it passes right through.
For a dirty trick.
What weapons do you have on your person?
I got a rapier.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh boy.
Oh, do I still have
Nope.
this sword?
You shoved it into the door. It's stuck there while the door.
15.
15. Yeah, you look at as you go to grab the gold and touch it, like it passes through your fingers, but man, like, okay, let's do this. And you look over at where Slowpoke is, and you grab the rapier. Wisdom saving throw.
Me?
It's a dueling ring.
Round
21.
1, fight. You managed to go like, oh no.
No.
Yeah, I want to fight, but no, we don't have to do this. As you go, we don't have to do this. Both of you go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Oh Jesus.
I should have stepped in the pit.
19. Here we go.
19.
Oh. 22.
Oh, here we go.
Deacon Smith, welcome, dude. Thank you so much for the bits. What did you get?
22.
22. Okay, so it's Cal versus Slowpoke. Cal, you are up first.
Oh god. How bad do I really want to fight? Like
you really want to fight, man.
'Kay.
Like this is what you were like. This is what you do in the room.
I feel like it'd be way more interesting if I didn't make that saving throw.
Yeah. How about you make the saving throw and you're like, no, I don't want to, and then Slowpoke is like doesn't make it, but the magic travels through, and you're like, I don't want to fight, but I will for my turtle. So you guys
It's
get
just too good, like Lost Boy versus Pirate. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It
too
really
good.
is. Like,
Lost Boy versus Pirate, the battle we've all been praying to see. Cal, you're up first.
Dissonant Whispers, level 1.
Okay. What is the save for Dissonant Whispers?
Wisdom save 13.
Wisdom save of 13.
Yeah, like 20.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, the
Hold on.
magic.
Yeah, 22.
You hear this weird whispering sound coming from like it enters in your head and Slowpoke like thunks you on the head a little bit and you kind of shake through it and you manage to fight through. What are you doing with your bonus action?
I can't inspire myself.
No, you cannot inspire yourself.
So nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So you stand firm. That is your turn. Slowpoke.
All right, longbow time. Here we go.
Okay. I would say you guys have not entered melee combat with each other yet. So you take out the longbow and you take a shot at Cal.
And I'm doing it with. Actually, that's bonus action. I can choose to do that after. Cool. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, like 20, 25.
Just
20.
barely.
That hits. I'm almost
24?
positive that hits.
Yeah.
24. Roll damage
Just
for me.
barely.
Right
on a couple numbers.
Yeah.
Had a bit of
And
20
I'm
would be
also, as a bonus action, going to do ensnaring strike,
fine. When the ranger fights the bard.
which will, you know, tie
It could've
him
been me.
down and all that.
Tell me more about ensnaring strike.
Actually, wait. Hold
Can
on.
I use
bonus
grave
action.
One bonus
repercussion?
action.
But you would have to do it first.
I would have to do it
That's
first.
the next time.
Next attack. Never mind.
Yep.
Can I use grave repercussions on this?
What is great?
So 8 points of damage.
8
As-
points of damage.
As
Cal.
a reaction, you can make a response to being attacked with a creature that you can see.
Yeah.
It's a wisdom. It's another wisdom. It's a wisdom of 13 once again. If he doesn't make it, he's blinded.
Yep. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
You said 8, buddy.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm rolling good. Wisdom?
Wisdom.
21.
Yeah, fine. Cool.
Yeah, you strike out with grave repercussions, and as you do, once again, he seems to fight through the wisdom that is there. We go back to the top of the initiative order with Cal.
And we're just saying that we attack each other?
Yeah, you guys are just walking on the space, and honestly, it seems like, oh, okay.
We're all just,
We're just like, let him
After receiving a
It's
hit,
like, do this all the time.
Would
It's
any
pretty clear this is the new game.
you guys are free to walk into the space if anybody wants to walk into the space. I imagine you guys were outside the door. If you guys get concerned, who goes into the space? Okay, Cliff has entered the game. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Nice.
after receiving a hit, does that shake off any wanting to fight or anything along those lines?
No.
No.
If anything, it probably fuels
Pisses
it a
you
little
off
bit
more.
more.
22.
22. Okay, so Clip walks in, and as Clip walks in, she freezes in a spot.
Oh.
And she's there, and she looks like she wants to fight, but you guys all turn and look and see that Clip is frozen in space.
You probably get to fight the winner.
Oh God.
Clip, you hear a voice in the back of your head that
Uh-huh.
be's like, the one who strikes first strikes the hardest. So you two can each do an attack against each other, or you can attack Clip. It's up to you. But because she didn't start the fight, she's coming in later. She's not the first one who started this.
No. Is it my turn?
Clip, your next turn, you will have full action again.
Yeah. Is it, as far as we know, is it one
Three
on
of
one
you.
on one?
It's one-on-one-on-one.
Cool.
Did any more money enter the bag?
Yeah, when I
Was
walked
anybody
in-
looking at the bag? You
I'm
definitely
looking at
weren't.
the bag.
Yeah, I mean, we're all looking
Yeah,
at...
we're looking at the
Sure,
scene,
give
so we see
me
the bag in the
perception
bag.
checks at disadvantage as Clip, who's 7 feet tall, walks in front of both of your visions.
Perception?
Yep.
10.
8, 10. It's hard to tell. You thought it's possible, but
Yeah.
she's 7 feet tall.
Cool.
Like she steps in front of both of you and stands in the space. She's like,
You're like-
play. Yeah.
Game?
Okay. Cal, you're up.
Okay, he's gonna try something weird, and hopefully it goes work.
Do it.
Lovely.
Because he remembers what they said about like if there's anything in play.
Yeah.
He's gonna kick the illusionary bag of coins, see if they scatter on him.
Okay. Give me a d20 and add your Arcana. Not your Arcana. Your spellcasting modifier. That's charisma for you. D20, add your charisma.
9.
9. Yeah, you try to make contact with it, but it doesn't quite reach. So, yeah, I'll say that's your bonus action. Still gives you an action here.
We're gonna get we're gonna close some distance because he's
To
hitting
who?
me. To him.
Slowpoke. Cal takes some steps forward and gets right up on you.
And then
All
we're
right.
gonna take
So I cast Protection from Evil and Good, which
On
gives.
your turn. On your turn.
Oh, I thought it was his turn.
No, he's still got an action and a movement. So, and for his movement, he gets right up on you.
Okay, do what you want.
Wham,
With what?
with the rapier.
Give me an attack.
17.
Yeah.
17 hits. Roll damage.
Oh, this is why you want us to roll damage all the time. 7, and then since I have 2 weapon, can I go with the dagger as well?
Yes, you're not going to add. You have 2 weapon fighting.
I have 2 weapon fighting.
All right, yeah, dagger out. Poof.
The dagger, you only add D4, not +7.
The second one's a 7.
7 on
Seven.
a dagger.
To hit.
The hit.
Okay.
7 to hit.
Yeah.
No, that does not hit.
No.
No.
So that dagger strike misses. Slowpoke, it's your turn.
Okay, now I cast Protection from Evil and Good. He gets disadvantage on all attacks against me
Because he is undead.
because he's undead.
Ah.
I also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by you.
Oh.
Well, we're all a little charmed.
No.
I mean, it's
Can't be.
All right, that's your action. You do anything with your bonus action?
I don't think I.
Yes, you can, probably.
Nah.
Clip, what was your initiative? Do you remember?
22.
22?
Me and her had the same.
Oh, it's bonus
me and
action?
mine had the same initiative.
As bonus action, I'm gonna put my Hunter's Sense on him.
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark. Hold on, not that. What's it called? I have a thing. Slayer's Prey.
Slayer's Prey.
Yeah.
This is a feature of
It's basically Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is part of your Monster Slayer.
We're gonna
Bonus
burn all of our
action.
spell slots at this
Each
one.
time you hit that target with a weapon attack, it takes an extra 1d6 damage.
Ooh. I think
Well
it's
done.
reset in the last.
All right. We go into the top of the initiative order. Clip.
Cool. So this one is facing away from me, right? Because he's right up him.
He's right up on him.
Okay.
And he's facing away from you.
I'm gonna pull out my great axe
Okay.
and run to behind him, just knock him on the back of the head.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Even though you want to fight.
I do want to fight, right? I want to fight.
Yeah. Give me an attack roll.
Cool.
That's what we're gonna do here.
It's 20.
Yeah, that's.
No.
I really need better armor.
You're not raging.
Not raging. 12, 13, 14, 15 points of damage.
Alright.
It's tough to be a pirate.
Oh god, if you die right now. Oh no.
All right.
I should start re-rolling character, shouldn't I?
Is that your turn?
I only have bonus actions as a barbarian, so yeah.
Okay, cool. That is Clip's turn. Slope, no.
It's me.
Yeah, Cal.
I have
You
this
just
thing.
get smacked in the back of the head, big guy.
I know. That's the thing.
Right in the soft spot.
That's right.
Not people know this, but Cal has a fontanelle. It's got like.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting attacked a lot this game.
He never grew up.
He's gonna turn around the clip and charm person.
I'm about it. What is the save for charm
I don't
person?
want Clip against
You're
me.
like, you can't charm me, and he goes, you're right.
You can't beat me. That's right, but she
What's
can.
the
It's a 13 wisdom.
Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
9.
He's your best bud in the
No!
whole world.
And you
Hi
just smacked
there.
him.
What do you say to her?
Hey, you know, he's being really mean to everybody.
Man, this guy's being mean to everybody. He's being mean to everyone.
Stick in the mud.
You want anything with your bonus action?
Right, better enough
Yeah.
wants to hop in. That would be the best time.
Absolutely, I am. I'm going to inspire her now.
How do you inspire her? I mean, it's some sort of artistry. It can be anything you want.
Some sort of artistry?
Sort of like inspiration. It can be
Some
anything.
sort of inspiration. You see the turtle? The turtle is upset. We want to make the turtle happy, don't we?
Well, you're doomed.
Run away.
Cool. So, Slowpoke, you see all of this, and Clip is looking at a way that she has never looked at before. And you don't know why, but you feel this weird motion on the top of your head as Slowpoke begins to move away from you. What would you like to do with your turn?
Right.
I feel a little bit.
just a little. Is she within bow range?
You are locked in combat, close range combat with Cal, and it's
Alright.
almost this weird like she said something about you. Would so like pulling out the bow, you can take a shot, but it's going to be a disadvantage.
To her, it would be.
Yeah, because you're
Okay.
still locked in
All
combat,
right, then
close
I'll
range with.
just use my kind of short sword on him.
You can take a you can
Take a
hit.
swing.
Mhm.
Take a good swing.
Yeah. And since ensnaring strike is on you from that arrow, here we go.
So you need to land this hit.
Yes. Yeah.
You're rolling good then.
20.
Okay. 20 to hit.
Blade
Yeah.
Slayer, not Centaur.
Roll damage.
You
All right,
did.
and that is. All right, let me.
Oh no.
Let me see, just real quick. I have to see if
Billy's making this all fun. Like Cal's gonna
Okay,
die. It's
never
gonna be an
mind.
actual death.
So that's
He's already
4
There's a
plus.
bunch of dirt. We'll just bury it.
Yes.
Wait,
Um,
jar of
4 plus
dirt.
how much, buddy?
I don't have jar.
Wait, what?
He said 4.
6.
He's down.
No. So,
No,
wait,
wait.
I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong dice.
4
Okay,
plus 6?
roll your short sword.
No, it's 6 in total.
Oh, it's 6.
And
All right,
roll
so
a
that's
d6.
so that's 5 plus 2.
7.
7. So
And then on the start of your
Are
turn,
you
you take
down?
I
another.
got 1.
On the start of your turn, you take another d6 because of the ensnaring strike.
Then I'll be down. But Clip's gonna hit you once before I go down.
So he needs to make a strength saving throw, correct? The next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack,
Yes, must
Vines
or be
happen.
restrained.
yeah, appear at and the target. You have so give me a strength saving throw, pal.
Not 20.
No,
Yeah, he does not. Like the vines start creeping up around him, and he just manages to go. Okay, and just pushes through. So you don't take that 1 point at the start of your
Oh,
turn.
thank God.
Right, that was your turn. Slowpoke. Clip. He's being mad. He's trying to hit the turtles. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action?
I would like to rage.
Rage, and then
Grow an extra foot tall.
give me an attack roll, please.
Cool. I'm gonna reckless attack.
These rolls are at advantage.
No. Bad. Just like unsubscribe.
Unfollow. Block. Unfriend. Block.
Leave the party.
14 to hit.
What?
14 to hit.
My arm class is 14.
That
That
hits.
hits.
So roll damage.
Y'all do what he said.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 points of damage.
All right. Well.
Hang on just a sec. I want to look up something first. Mark down that damage, buddy.
I did.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Yeah. You take that damage. That is your turn. Clip. Cal, you are up next.
Cool. Cool. We're gonna cast Healing Word at 2nd level myself.
Wait. Can I retcon and that I say something on my last turn, please?
Yes, you may.
Do you really think you can beat her on your own?
Oh!
The thing is, she's still charmed.
Let's just try.
Try though.
Good try.
Good try. No. So we're going.
How long am I charmed for?
Oh, it's a while. If it's charmed person, it's like
It's,
an hour.
it's
or
an hour.
something. Yeah.
Hour, okay.
Of course, you're gonna know he charmed you
After
afterwards.
the hour, you are very aware
Yeah,
that
I
someone has
charmed
cast
you.
a spell on you and has manipulated your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And they used a turtle to do it. Just
How
like
right
in
now,
20,000
don't
Leagues
care.
Under
He's
the
trying to
Sea,
live.
the
Oh,
director
yes.
manipulated me emotionally. If you'd like to learn more, watch the show.
Into the vault.
They ate 4 giant sea turtles in the course of this movie.
Well,
What?
no, they ate 3 giant sea turtles
made one a guitar.
turned one into a guitar.
How much did you heal for,
So it's
buddy?
3 and 2 and 3 more, so that's 8.
What level did you cast?
That's the second. Second.
Second. And this was.
Anyone else want to hop into the ring and help me fight the big
What's the
woman?
spell
Have
that
you
you
actually
got?
said this?
No.
Healing word.
Healing
Yeah,
word.
if you
That
say
was
that,
your
I'm just
bonus
gonna go,
action.
no, good luck.
What is your action?
I need to know.
My
if you
my
actually
bonus
say it.
action.
Okay.
That was your bonus action. Healing word is a bonus action.
Yes.
What are you doing with your action?
My action.
Come on, bud.
We're just gonna swing again.
Swing away, Meryl.
Oh, that's not gonna work. 7. Not
But you have
17,
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Also.
No. Yeah. That second one. But it's not gonna hit. It's gonna
Doesn't it? He swings wide as this healing magic sort of flows over him. Cal, that is your turn. Slowpoke.
Right, so here we go. Cure wounds on myself. Giving myself 10 points.
Right.
And then I can, I would like to,
I would like-
creature, how broad is the term
Wait,
creature?
You have. You have mage.
Is she a
Slayer, do you
creature?
not?
I do have.
Can I
Mage
move my
Slayer.
Slayer's
Okay.
Prey to her?
Hang on. As you go to cast the spell Cure Wounds, because she has Mage Slayer, she decides this. You do not
That's
decide
right.
this, even when she's charmed.
Okay.
But as he goes to cast, you have the ability to take
Take
a
him.
swing at him. Because of the speed is like, oh my god, he's casting on the turtle. He's casting something on the turtle.
Also, am I trying to say, if anyone wants to help me fight this large woman, please jump right on in.
Yeah.
We're good.
Good luck.
This is also because this is reckless, so roll it at advantage.
The first one worked. 17, 18.
So you want the roll second? You see crits?
That's for the
Roll
hit.
damage.
Oh.
Roll damage.
That's 22 to hit.
Okay.
And then that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Well, that's...
You heal for 10.
And lose 13.
Lose 13. That was your reaction.
Oh my god.
Since he called out, I step into the ring.
Desmahai enters the ring.
Bye. Good luck.
I love
My
My
Yeah.
axe is
battle
ready
royale.
before I.
Roll initiative.
Cool.
I'm running out of spell slots here.
Yeah, it's not good.
That would be a 12.
12.
I still don't enter the ring.
Which I think puts you below Slowpoke.
This is a grand game.
You
We
are
used to play this
frozen.
game.
You are, as you
My
walk
axe is
into
up.
the ring, you are frozen indefinitely. You don't know how long this is going to last, but a new player has entered the game and she ain't moving.
A new challenger is approached.
Yeah. So take of that what you will. As Desmahai enters the game.
I want to look at the bag. Is there more money in the bag now?
As she walks in, you definitely see.
Okay. Alright, noted.
Cool.
Oh
We're gonna
jeez.
kill each other.
Oh.
That's 3 of us.
Yeah.
We ain't coming in. Good luck. Deuces.
All right.
No
That
stakes.
takes us. That was Slowpoke. That takes us to the top of the initiative order, which is Clip. Clip, it is your turn.
So she walked in and we're aware she walked in.
Yep.
Cool. I remember when they said the first hit is the hardest.
Okay.
They whistled that in my head, right?
Yes.
Okay. Am I able to hit her?
Yeah, absolutely. You still have control of your faculties. That's your best buddy in the world, and he's hurting him and the
Good
turtle.
friends.
Good friends.
We're good friends.
Yeah.
At least right now. For the next hour.
You're hurting a turtle, man.
Alright, hit.
I'm hitting, that is reckless attacking. That is.
Who are you hitting?
Yeah.
Slowpoke.
Yes.
Okay. Reckless attack.
Completely unnecessary.
That's a 15 to hit.
15 to hit.
And that is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of damage.
Well,
What's the damage?
Slowpoke's down.
Slowpoke goes down.
Yeah.
Hits the ground. As you go down, you find yourself outside of the room, standing there. You are at full hit points again. You are at full spell slots again, but you are standing outside of the room. You have a small wound on your hand, like it's a scar, just a really tiny one. It almost looks like a tick mark. But go ahead and mark down 5 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Cool. I don't know how to...
Sure, and he'll show you that.
Yeah,
So
24.
that's your
I
turn.
was like, what the...
That's your turn, Clip. Cow.
Do you say anything when you get out of the room there, slow bro?
You have no eyes for him.
I have no eyes. Cool.
He just
Never mind.
disappeared.
Des is the only one left. So we gotta go to Des.
Clip is also here.
Yeah, the Clip's my best friend right now.
She's like, that checks.
That's
Yeah,
just,
that does.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cast Fairy Fire on Diaz.
Okay, Fairy Fire on Des.
13.
Give me a dex saving throw at disadvantage.
13 is the save.
How far away from her?
How far away are you guys from her?
Yeah.
That'll be
Pretty.
a.
I mean, you're close.
I'm doing math.
If it's greater
13.
than
13.
13 is the save.
Okay, she makes the save.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are not glowing.
I am not glowing.
Did I
I'm
do
not
that right?
glowing.
I think that
It's-
they make the save. Does it
it's-
work for attacks?
If she makes a save,
She makes the
she's,
save.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
I only ask because if it's an area spell.
It is, but the magic does not affect
Okay, I
it.
was
That's
like,
what I
It
figured.
has an entity value.
I'm not
So
going in,
this,
but-
you, even though you're frozen in place and you're held solid and held fast, you manage to shift just a tiny bit off to the side as the spell fires past you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an intelligence check.
Nat 20.
This is not uncommon to a game that the tribe played before,
Okay.
where two people start a fight. You're allowed to enter into the fight at any time, but you have to wait as many rounds as have taken place at the start of the game to make it fair. Otherwise, you could swoop in while everybody's down to 5 hit points and just go like, you're dead, I win. You have to stay frozen in place as many rounds as have taken place before you entered the game.
How many rounds have taken place?
Quite a bit.
This will be, you are frozen essentially for 3 rounds of combat, where you are
Okay.
just standing still, firmly held in place, because otherwise you could easily just come in at the last second and be like, gotcha, like I
Yeah.
win, like, and so you're there. It's why, and then it clicks. That's why when she walked in, she was frozen. Like she was unable to move for an entire round of combat between the two.
We probably just thought she was like super.
Yeah, you thought she was still because her
She was, like,
muscles are
getting ready.
rippling.
She
I'm
was
like,
like,
it's,
Oh, this gives so much context. I'm like, I can't kill you. I can't bring you down.
cool. So Fairy Fire does not work. You do anything with your bonus action.
No, sir.
Okay. That will take us back to Clip.
Reckless attack does.
Okay.
That's gonna be 2 nat 20s.
Oh, but Jesus.
Wait, what
Nice.
if that was damage?
One of the nat 20s will hit.
One of them.
Question, I saw that he went down and then disappeared, right? Because I was
You
frozen.
did. I would say you did see him fall down and then disappear.
15
Okay, cool.
points of damage.
So you think you know what this is?
Yeah, I know what
They
this
probably
is.
stole this from you guys.
Gotcha.
Their version of this
If
game.
it's a nat 20 to hit, don't it's double damage?
The double damage.
It's double damage if it's nat 20 to hit.
Correct. No, roll another d20 for me.
11.
Okay. Yeah, double damage.
Double damage.
Yep.
That was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15 points of damage.
Times
That's
2.
high. Times 2, so 30 points of damage.
Then I disappear.
Outside.
And
So
I'm
what
standing,
happens
So I'm
now?
standing there. I'm like, no,
You're gonna have to
I
kill her.
was going to be Cal. I want that to be clear.
Yeah.
But she's the only one that you're supposed to
She's the only one left.
I'm
right?
trying to fight pirates, not.
How do I-
Give me a
her.
wisdom saving throw, Cal.
Do I get the temporary hit
Woo!
points too?
Wisdom
You do.
saving.
There's a scar on your hand.
hard
You have
20.
5 temporary hit points.
Awesome.
Hard 20.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's your turn.
Um,
And
he
you
doesn't
really
know,
want to
he
fight?
won't, you won't know what to do. Oh, God.
Cal is frozen in...
yeah.
Clip, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
12.
He wants to hurt the turtle.
You want to hurt the turtle?
He wants to hurt the turtle
Reckless
now.
attack.
Everybody wants to hurt the turtle. Oh, dude.
That is, yeah, it hits. That's an 18 on the
Great
die.
repercussion.
Okay. How many times can you do that?
It's a cantrip.
It's a can.
It's once per reaction.
I need to
What?
look at this. I need you to send me that spell, please. This sounds like a homebrewed thing, because I'm having a hard time. Send me that spell,
I absolutely will.
please.
That's a 19 on the die to get rid of that.
19 on the die.
It is
Yeah.
not
Yeah, definitely.
showing up.
So that doesn't hit me. And that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage, Cal. Mark it down.
Yep. He's still frozen. He's He doesn't know what to do, so he's gonna bypass it. Go for it.
This is a homebrewed.
Is it?
This is a homebrewed spell.
Okay.
You utter a curse at a target that attacked you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, necrotic energy swarms up and clings to it, causing it to be blinded until it takes damage.
Or the spell ends.
Or the spell ends. This is way powerful to be able to cast as a cantrip.
Okay.
So go ahead and switch out. That's not on you. That's on me because that's craziness. So go ahead and trade that out for something else.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just saw it and listened, like, oh, that looks cool.
It does look really cool.
That's a 19 on the die to
Yep,
hit.
that hits.
And then that is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15
He's
points
out.
of damage.
Oof. The room suddenly clears as the bag falls as Cal is knocked out of the room. Inside this bag, you find 230 gold pieces,
Nice.
as well as
Everything gets back. Spell slots, health, all that.
health slots is my new warlock character. Spell slots and health are all refilled. Everybody that fought in the battle gets a scar on their hand,
For 5 temporary
and you
points.
mark down 5 temporary hit points.
Nice.
230 gold pieces are in the bag.
Cool.
230, cool.
Yes, and a small. What is this? A small vial
A small vial.
Can I?
of dust,
Yeah.
of glittery dust.
Oh man, got some glittery dust.
Oh, you got
Can I shake Cal's hand and say like good game, like sorry about all that.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, I might have been a little overreactive.
Yes.
So.
And I would have beat you.
Yeah, it's questionable. It's all right.
I walk out of the ray with my gold and my vial.
I want.
Give me.
Thanks for the attempt assist.
Ask for intelligence 1. Do it.
No. Okay. How about this? You walk out of the room, right?
Okay, yeah.
And as you
Well,
walk
I
out,
walk out of the circle.
there's a tiny pull
him a
as you
whole
get
lot.
towards the door that's coming from the back.
Okay, I'll open the bag.
Okay. You don't know what it is. There's like a tiny pull coming from the bag.
It's holding me back into the pit.
Yeah, you could probably force your way through. You can give me a strength saving throw if you want.
Okay, I'm still raging.
I will let you do this at advantage.
Well, that's good. So good throws.
22.
22.
Yeah.
And you push through the door, and the bag deflates.
Oh. All the gold's gone in it.
No, there's still some of it. I mean, there's about
Even numbers.
36 pieces of gold in there.
Okay. I'm happy with that. Money doesn't mean anything to me, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. There's this little weird tickle in the back of your head, like a little voice that we fight together. We fight with each other so that we fight together. We share together.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. That's weird. Let me just keep going.
Yeah.
Before we leave the room, I want to look about the door frame.
Yeah, the same scrawled in.
Yeah. Get.
Oh, yeah.
About the door frame.
I hate this. Underline, necessary.
I hate this necessary.
I'm gonna walk over to Slowpoke and nestle his hair.
Thanks.
What?
Glad you're
what
on our
is-
side. Yes.
What is underlined? Hate?
Necessary. I hate this.
And
And
necessary.
then a little bit necessary. Underline, circled.
I mean, yeah, it's necessary to fight.
And try and
Wait.
get better. Also, ow.
This
Ah.
room? Wait, is this room necessary or is just fighting necessary?
I think
I
it's.
suppose the practice of fighting,
Practice.
the learning to work together,
Well,
work
'cause
against each other.
The
Which
last,
is what wisdom said.
because the last room it said keep this with you.
Can you
which was
tell
play.
me again what's
This
whispered in my
is
head
fight.
so I can write it down?
We fight
So
together.
that should be necessary,
Uh-huh.
right?
Does this mean all of us have to fight at some point?
We fight
22.
together.
It means that's
You
how
got
people
one of
get
those neat
closer
little
through everything.
Scars.
We fight together.
Uh-huh.
We fight each other.
We fight each other.
We fight together so that we can fight for each other.
Fight together so we can fight for each other. Okay.
Have you shared this with us?
You flashback. Get up. Get up, Slowpoke.
It.
Pick up the sword.
I don't.
Pick up the sword.
I.
Peter slices you across the chest with the sword. A bit of blood falls out of your face and hits the ground, and he puts the sword to your throat and makes you stand up.
Then yeah, he does. So, come on, do we have to do this?
Yes, because I don't want you dead. We do this so you don't die.
So I don't die.
Yes. I can kill pirates. I killed lots of pirates. We fight each other so that we can fight for each other.
Why can't we just fight pirates?
Do you see any pirates around here?
No, we can bring a pirate down here.
Slowpoke. Slowpoke, look at me. You're with me now. Okay? And I'll die fighting for you. But I don't want to. Because that means some other lost boy is going to lose his life. And another one. So pick up that sword, not for you. And not for me. But for the boy you haven't met yet.
Okay.
That's why we do it.
Okay. It's hard.
I know.
Ow.
I know.
I pick it up.
You're standing on your back leg too much. And it goes into it.
Cuts back.
Yep. You guys are in this long hallway.
Quick question: was it this room, or is it like a similar circle setup?
Not in here. It was a similar circle outside.
When we leave the room
Yeah.
and the door shuts, I'm taking the sword
Okay.
out of the door.
Swords with. You turn the corner, and this is. I'm trying to impress the scope of this eyes to all of you. This is the longest hallway you have ever seen. When I say longest hallway, think the size of a football field. Okay. The walls are different here. It's an odd, porous wall. It almost looks like coral, and it's a green and blue coral wall that lines, and it's like a football field. It's narrow enough that you guys could clip. You'll be able to fit in just fine. Like I said, it's about the same distance before, about 15 feet up, but it is a long room.
You said that there were 3 torches lit, and on the other side there were 4 torches unlit.
She
correct?
lit all of the torches.
She lit all of them,
causing
and
the
the one
sword to
fell,
fall.
and that's where the door was.
Correct.
So we don't see another door at the end of this hall. It's just almost to our minds an
It is
endless hallway.
so long that you think you see a spot at the very end where it might turn, but like this hall is long.
Well, let's
Is
just
there any
go.
torches? Is it dark?
Have
dark,
they
dark?
conveyed any? You guys haven't conveyed any of this. Like we all fight,
No,
we
the-
all fight stuff.
The
right?
only thing that we've talked about out loud was just this, I think, right? 'Cause you
How
didn't
about
say
this,
anything
Slowpoke? Would you have
else.
shared this with the group?
Um.
You don't have to.
No.
No. Okay.
Fortunato, last time we had a long hallway. You seemed to know what to do. So,
Only after you went and figured out there was fire there.
Well,
well,
we figured
You're
it out
welcome to
before
I
because
feel
of
as
Scritch,
though
so I'm just gonna
the
throw that out there.
That's true too.
main mechanic of hallways is to walk down them. So I just start walking down the hallway.
Everybody's discussing like what should we, and Des is like, son of a. Des, you get a little ways down the hallway. I'm gonna say you take about 10 or 15 steps, and you go
now it's
to
dark.
you can see.
Okay.
This hallway is the lit up from an on source. As you go to take a deep breath in, you are unable to breathe. You're just instinctively, like you weren't even paying attention to it. There's no rush. There's nothing like that. You go. You are unable to breathe, and you turn back and look at the group.
I turn back and I look at the group and I start walking back towards the place where I could actually like breathe.
Yeah.
That I first remember.
yeah, like he's making his way down, like trying to like meet her in the middle, try to get her down or something.
Yeah, Cal, you reach out a hand, and he is able to pull you back. You've only taken like 10 or 15. He is able to pull you back to the rest of the group, and as soon as you get away from where this coral wall is,
Coral wall?
it's like a coral wall that leads down this hallway. It's stone. The minute she started walking down the hallway that was lined with this blue-green porous material along the edges of the wall that lined this entire hallway almost like a football field's length. The minute she started walking down this hallway, she got to a certain point. The coral didn't move. There was nothing about the wall, but she took a deep breath in just instinctively, and she was unable to breathe. There was no air in the room.
Do I remember like locationally where I was, where I couldn't breathe?
Yeah, about 10 or 15 steps in, but as you were running back, you're trying to deep breath in, and you weren't able to take a deep breath in until you joined back with the rest of the group. And so you were outside of the limits of this coral that lines the hallway.
Right. Okay.
Where were you at?
I was 10 or 15 feet down. There's no air.
Cal's
There's
gonna
no
walk
air.
down.
Okay.
It's not gonna.
It's
Cal
not
doesn't
gonna do anything.
breathe.
God doesn't breathe.
Cal, you walk down the hallway.
And probably gets to where she was, and just like looks at the core wall, see if there's anything that stands out. Any.
Give me a nature check.
That's me.
Nature. Yeah, I'm not too bad at nature. With a 22, I'm pretty good at nature.
You're looking at the wall. It looks like something would be found underwater. You know that there are types of this particular coral that like you don't really understand botany. Even with a 22 in a nature check,
Yeah.
I want to respect it, but I also want to know that like
It's out of my league.
how about this? There was a room. There was a room that they would use to torture pirates in, and they throw them in and they lock the door. And you think the stuff looks similar to the stuff that would line this room,
Mhm.
and for some reason, no air in the space. Like no, like, and people would just be like, but there was. With a 22, there was no chair in the room, there was no bucket in the room, there was nothing in the room other than this person who would just be like scrambling to try to get out.
Okay, he's gonna come. He's gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, in your bag of tricks over there, do you have like a bucket or something?
I'm sure I do.
I have
Just
a
start
bag.
pulling out a bunch of stuff.
Like I need like a bucket, like something that you would put on your head.
Yeah, Fortunato has a bucket,
Yeah.
and there's the moose
It's my
mug.
moose mug.
Give me just give me a perception check.
I need someone to try
Wow.
this. I need.
I'll try it, whatever it is.
You want to try it?
Yes,
Seriously?
I've
Okay.
been down there.
You've been down. Come
Actually,
with, because
Where
I
did
might
it
need
come
help.
from?
Come with, because I might need
Which
help.
way did it come from?
Do you want to help? I'm going to take the bucket from Fortunato. I'm going to put it upside down and put it on Thistle's head.
Okay. Thistle, you are Buckethead.
I'm Buckethead.
I'm going to then just, if you can't breathe, I'm going to be with you the entire time.
Okay.
If you can't breathe, wiggle my hand and I'll put you back in.
Okay.
And we're going to take her into the coral. Hopefully the bucket works as kind of like a diver helmet.
Okay. You are going this space. You were in this space. You were in this space. What's your con?
It is +2.
What is your con, Tess?
It's minus, like save or Or
Your,
just
just your
con?
con total. Like, what is your con score?
okay, it's a
8, 9,
+1.
plus 1.
13.
Okay, so you get a little bit further than Des Bahai gets, but even with the bucket on the head, like you get to a certain point where you have to take a breath in and you go.
And then
she's
she's
sure.
wiggling hand. If she's wiggling hand, I'm bringing her back then.
Cal, can you go see how far down? Well, the corals, past where we can see. Can you just go down there and see
As
if the coral's not past there?
as you start to walk down this long hallway, what are you guys doing?
I want to look at the front entry, like wherever we are, just for any sign of.
Yeah,
anything.
you're looking for it this time. It's very easy. Sometimes you have, like, it's written again. You bring Thistle over. This one's not written up, and it's like written on the ground,
Okay.
almost. Like he had to lay flat on his stomach and go. How do you put this?
I thought it was clever to pull bucket head.
To die, it's very clever. You die. Then you come back. But to die would be an awfully big adventure.
Dude. This is
Oh,
all games.
man.
It's all games.
It's all games?
Just drag me down there. Trust me, just try it. Just try it. Just drag me down there.
Me
And then
first.
A history
I'm-
check. Anybody that's a part of Neverland. I'll give this to everybody.
History.
History.
19.
19.
That
Oh,
was
nat
terrible.
20.
That was terrible. I'm trying to save your character.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hard 20.
It's a nat turtle.
Nat
What was
turtle.
it?
Two of
History?
you nat
Nat
turtle.
20.
You two
17 minus 2 is 15.
And I had a
15.
hard 20.
hard 20. Okay. My nat 20s, because this was a high DC. You both flash back to the moment, like where Peter talks about it. You hear it from Peter's side of things, and you hear it from Tink's side of things. That she died. She died. And Peter brought her back. Through faith. And sheer force of will. Peter brought her back. And you flash back to the memory of being surrounded by the boys and by a lake. And he goes, all right, this is the last part. Okay? And he grabs you by the scruff of your shirt. And all the boys are standing there. And you're laying head back in the water. And you're like, I don't want to do this. And he's like, this is the last part. Once you do this, it's you're always one of us, okay? You gotta believe that you can do this. Okay? Slowpoke, do you believe?
Someone has a cricket bat and they're all wearing hoods.
Actually, it's somber. All of them have taken off like their hats. All the animals are lined up with them, and everybody's around this lake. And it's. He's like, they do this in the main world too. They hold you in the water and they bring you out, and you're different. You're better. I remember this from when I was a baby. Okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you better. Okay, buddy?
All right.
1, 2, 3. And they hold you in the water and you're looking up.
I wish I picked sea turtle.
And you're looking up and then all of a sudden you can't breathe. You can't breathe. And he's holding you down and you're fighting and you're like smacking his hand and you're trying to get up and you can't breathe. You can't do it. And some of the younger boys start to move and the older boys hold them back and you can't breathe. Like this is everything to you. I can't breathe. Let me out. I can't breathe. And then you are gone. It's over. And it's silent. And you're brought back. Not with a sudden jolt, but with a heartbeat. And you wake up, cough water out of your mouth as you're surrounded by everybody on the shore just clapping as loud as they can, banging on pots, hitting trees, like clapping on their chest, and Peter's standing above you. And he holds his hand out. And you get up.
So based off this memory, I think he's going to kind of explain what he saw.
Okay?
And then he just walks in.
Okay. Do you do anything as you walk in?
I'm, as soon as he's starting to walk, I'm walking behind him, clapping as loud as I possibly
I'm
can.
walking.
With each sound of the clap, the coral begins to close.
And I yell, clap as loud as you can and don't stop.
Begins to clap, begins to clap. And you manage to make it through down to the edge of the hallway.
Oh!
We were about to walk it too. I was ready. I was like, yeah, let's go. Oh, God.
You would have gotten real far. Then it would have got bad.
Luckily, we have
Okay,
people
so-
that could totally resurrect dead people, right?
Right.
Who?
You're the
Oh,
cleric.
you're the cleric.
Oh crap! I am, and I'm only level 4.
So we get to
Don't
the
you
end-
hate it when?
So we get to the end of the hall. Is it a turn or is it a door?
It is neither. As you get to the end of this hallway, you look down and see Cal, who's standing at the other side, being like, "I was just gonna come get you guys," and you see a river that looks like so rock here, and the river goes under
the rock.
Under the rock.
Guys, we get
Like-
to go swimming.
Like point of no return. This thing is booking. So once you get in, like this thing is
I'm
going.
looking for any indication. scratched into the wall, anything like that before I'm going anywhere.
This one's harder. I need anybody who would be looking, seeing her.
Because I've been reading everything
Investigation.
so far, so
Investigation. I'm looking for a 19 and up.
that is a nat 20,
Hell
and I have
yeah.
a +6.
Perception or investigation?
Investigation.
Mm.
19.
No, this is not a trap, but I'll take the 19.
It was
I
a
can reroll for that.
19, but I have -2, so it's a 17.
This one's written in different script. It's still written in Sylvan,
Okay.
and it says I'm sorry.
That's it.
Someone else wrote it. It wasn't the same person who wrote all the rest of the stuff. It just said I'm sorry. I don't know what that means.
Can I look at it? Does
Just that face.
She
like,
points it out to you guys. Fortunato has been pretty close, like, 'cause he's got the tools and stuff like that. But yeah, she kind of points out to this spot, and it's carved into the rock. I mean,
Carved
and
into which rock?
it's carved into the rock that's like if you were to jump into the river at one point, like before you were go under the rock, like the river, if you jumped in here right before you got into the water, it says, I'm sorry.
So is the water like right underneath it, or is it fairly above the water?
It's fairly, there's like a tiny ledge. I'm gonna say a couple inches, almost like sliding into a pool.
I gotcha. Okay.
comparatively to the other script that we've seen, has the other script been like really messy, and then
Yeah.
comparatively this one's neater?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just carved in? Is there anything specific other than that?
It just looks like it's carved.
Does it look like anything that Slowpoke would recognize as like something a Lost Boy could have done, or is it just like too generic?
How about this? Lost Boys don't apologize.
Okay. It's not. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be honest here, like,
Yeah.
why? Why would you apologize?
Well,
Yeah.
there's one place left. We've gone this far.
Well, if you guys want to take like a minute, like just hanging out for a minute, I have a spell that I can cast. I've cast it before, to find out if it's a good idea to jump in there.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Well, but I could let you know if it is or not, because
Okay.
I
I
see
can
the
let you know.
answers on this stuff.
And then he jumps in. He gets 15 feet in,
Okay.
clicks his heels together, and appears back. Nope. Bad idea.
I want to.
It's true. He jumps in the water. Well, click.
I want to cast Ray of Frost.
On the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's enough.
That one. Yeah.
That's cute.
Wouldn't
She's
I
like-
trust you, darn it!
I don't know why you're
Wanna be
trusting some
Elsa?
rando.
Is it Russian?
You cast
I
Ray of
haven't
Frost.
dressed this entire time. I dress as Rabbit.
As you cast Ray of Frost, the minute the Ray of Frost hits the water, you're expecting like a little tiny like beep beep. As the Ray of Frost hits, there's an explosion where you guys are all blasted backwards, and you hit your butts as this Ray of Frost turns into a level of arcane magic you have never seen before in your entire life. It is the largest, most powerful spell that you've ever cast, and as it hits the water, there is an explosion as a cavalcade of ice hits this water and explodes outward. After a while, the water pushes it away. No one takes any damage, but it is as if you cast this spell way, way beyond any knowledge of magic that you currently have.
Hey, can you teach me how to do that?
That was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Do I understand this? That like her. Her
You
thing
watched
was
as
really powerful?
you watched as Eris went,
What
Like-
happened? What happened?
I'll put that away.
What? Wait, was that supposed to happen? What was supposed to
I
happen?
wanted the water to be frozen so we could slide down it.
Okay, can I try something? This is gonna sound really
I
weird.
believe sliding into a rock would be too much help.
Listen,
Can I?
just trying stuff.
Okay, I think I
That's
would
what you
put
do in
this
a
together.
dungeon.
Okay, I
The
think I
weirder
would
the
put this.
better.
I think I would put this together because she's childlike.
okay.
I want to cast a minor illusion of a bubble around my head,
Okay.
and then go in the water and not go all the way like far, but just
I'm-
cast minor illusion of a bubble and see what
Very,
happens.
very lenient when it comes to how you cast that spell.
No. I'm
Minor
just trying
illusion.
to see what works.
Okay, before you do this,
Okay.
minor illusion is, I believe, a stationary
5
illusion.
foot. Oh, that's
You-
right.
you go
It's stationary.
bubble,
I'm sorry.
step.
Wrong. I step out of it. No. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Let me
Well, I
keep
could
thinking.
Take a small vial
I'll
and
keep
get some
thinking.
water and just go. "Ah."
Okay.
Absolutely. You just want one?
Yeah, that's all it would take.
Got it.
So I could
Cal's gonna
check
go
it out
down.
later.
Cal's gonna go
Would you like
and
to
like
use my whisk?
like
I'm okay.
sit next to the water and just kind of like run his fingers through. Think of anything.
Let me
Knowing that
thinking.
something's covered for that. I'm
Well,
good,
if
thanks.
anything, do we have anyone in here like that can do message?
Yes.
Hi.
Well, if we just Cal, if you just go ahead, you can't drown. You can let us know what's what.
How? Well, part of the reason he sticks his fingers in there is to see how strong the current is.
Okay.
Is
It's strong.
It's very strong.
It's a.
It's
As
a
the person who's
rapid.
in there, I can tell you.
If you have, okay, it's almost as if somebody took two rivers,
And just-
and if you put those rivers together,
You have-
you can't take those rivers apart.
Yeah.
Then you'd have
Like it's just one river.
I misheard the speed. That's my bad.
Wait.
Inside joke all
That was our
I'm very.
during our wedding ceremony. The pastor did this analogy, and it just bombed.
It
and
bombed
started to
terribly.
go on, and it was
was awful.
terrible. It was the worst. But
That's so
he got lost in his own analogy, talking about rivers, and it just went on for like an hour.
He also got lost in math for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go.
Cal, when you put your hand in the water,
Holding on.
give me a strength save.
Oh no.
If that arm goes in the water, I'm gone, guys.
It's okay.
Oh, it's gone. It's a 7.
Just want to test. Bye, Felicia.
Oh, fine.
As you're,
All of you or just the arms?
you are the only one who notices.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no, he's doing the walk around thing. Oh no,
Tell
no, no,
me
no,
you're
no,
sick
no,
of
no, no,
these.
no, no.
I don't.
It's happened
I don't
twice.
think I can- hang on.
He's gonna walk around.
Or you can
and go
text
like,
me.
"Your
Oh my
arms
gosh,
gone."
he's
I'll text you. I'll text you. I'll text you.
Your arm's gone.
Actually,
Your arm's
everybody
gone.
earmuffs.
Yeah, close them in.
I'm
Things.
so
Skin.
angry.
Oh.
All right, back. You're back.
On. Oh.
Yep.
Ooh.
I hear the la 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 stop. And I'm okay.
Buddy, I'm giving you 6 seconds before this thing is just gonzo.
I'm trying to pull. I'm trying to get out of the river. I'm trying to get out of it. Or is
Can I
You're
mage
just-
hand it?
You're letting the arm go.
Can I mage hand it?
Yeah, please, mage.
I saw it. Can I mage hand
Dexterity
it?
at disadvantage. You put your arm in a river, then you got up and you're like, guys, and like this thing is almost past the
If
threshold.
it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go after
Okay,
it.
it's a 10 plus
Dexterity saving throw. What is your dex
2.
save?
It's a 12.
I know, buddy. I'm starting not
No, it's fine. At that point, it goes. Something's weird. This river. There's a skin on it, and he's gonna jump in.
There's a
What?
what
Cal-
on it?
Bye.
Cal jumps in the water, and as he does, Cal is fully formed skin. He's got long, long black hair. He's got tan skin. He is one of the most gorgeous people you've ever seen in your entire life, if anybody would care about that sort of thing. As Cal jumps into the water and goes diving after his arm.
So do you guys like change often, or is it just like the two? of
Does
you?
Cal's full form not have an arm still?
He looks like a
I'm
pirate.
just
No,
wasn't
it,
sure.
you've got a stump there.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
It actually cuts off here.
Okay. Okay. Cool. He's gone. He's gone.
Is my charm still up?
What charm?
It's gone.
Charm person.
No, it's
No, it was gone. Okay.
It left after we left the arena.
Okay.
Well, it should be. For
Well,
an
there's
hour.
no going
Has it
back
been less than
now.
An hour?
If he's not concentrating.
We both jumped in together.
Yes.
He's probably done.
But
Here we go.
Des and Slowpoke. Whee! The water takes them under. There's a, and they go underneath this rock.
Just
It is.
Literally the
Can
worst
I
idea I've ever
can
had.
I send my familiar under the rock to see what happens?
Absolutely, you can.
do you want me to hold your familiar?
Or
Should I
Scritch.
go?
Bye, Scritch! And I'm watching through his eyes as he goes. Does he see them?
Do me a favor. How do you put him on the ground and you're like, get in, or would you like put him in the water?
No, I'm like, hey, Scritch, follow them, please.
Okay, so you just tell him, and he
Yeah. Yeah.
climbs on the water. And
Yeah. I haven't killed you yet today.
Do we have a water part going? We could like hold on.
a la Goonies, you guys go down this natural-made, like sort of fast-tumbling water slide. I think you end up on the.
Yeah, that's not that
end up on the shore. Desbahai is cranky. She's like, I'm sad that we're flying. Like you're just like going down. Who went in the water?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm still
The
nervous.
three of you land on a black sand shore. This black sand shore is under a star-filled sky.
Ooh.
As I get out of the water, do I maintain or do I go for sail with him?
You are Cal again, unfortunately. Like you are.
Do I
One
have to
arm
be
behind
able
the
to
back.
see
Yeah.
him
Wow.
to cast message?
You have to be able to point in his direction and have him be within a certain range in order to cast.
Okay.
So you just point at where the water was.
Yeah.
It does not hit.
Do we see Scritch?
Scritch is not there.
So we look around. I'm gonna look around.
I look around too. I mean, it's.
Is
pretty
there
much
anything
just
on there?
a-
Is it just the beach? Does it go on forever?
As you
and there's no shore.
you are on this almost this like tiny island
Okay.
under a star-filled sky.
Like in a
After
cartoon
like a
where
minute,
it's
if they're
like.
not showing back up, I go.
I go
Cool.
after her
I'll
immediately.
finish the minute then, and
Yeah.
then I'll say that you two are going in. It takes you guys about a minute to look around this space. As you do, the wind occasionally picks up from out of nowhere. And in front of you is are columns. Painted on the columns are pictures of some guy with a beard, and he's throwing like lightning bolts down. And on one of the columns, there's a guy wearing sandals, but the sandals have little like wings on them. There's another one. There's a gentleman who looks to be like wreathed in fire, and he's standing at the gates as these like figures reach up towards him on these columns. And these columns are painted with all of these scenes.
Do these columns appear to be made out of like marble or?
They do.
Okay.
So, since I'm from the real world, I'd probably have like a know about this.
Give me a religion
He's
check
insulting.
at advantage. Yeah, because I would say you would know about this.
Cal's distracted looking for his arm. Like, he's looking for, see if his arm's bad at the end of it.
Your arm washes up on shore before you do, but you're able to walk over to where it is.
He's gonna toss it in, like, the bag of rest.
What'd you get? Nat 20.
Nat 20.
These are representing the Greek pantheon.
Yeah.
What you got there, buddy?
Do you know these creatures?
It's lore, myth from where I come from. Just gods and such.
The father.
Is there anyone that particularly looks like
I point at Zeus.
The
No,
mother?
well, hold on. Which one? So who's represented again?
Your question is there anybody that looked like?
either the lady that I met or Dole?
Yes, both
Okay.
are represented on these statues.
Which ones? Like, who do I see again?
You see a bunch of different shapes. These guys start looking around, the two of you end up on the shore. You two are back at there as Clip and Eris have just jumped in the water. It's a minute that's gone by. Scritch
Okay.
is non-communicado.
I'm not seeing anything through his eyes.
Nothing. Scritch jumps in the water. There's a moment of like rushing water, and then
Shall we?
Bye, Scritch.
Let's go!
1, 2, 3.
In the water.
Stares at the water. Well. Couple of seconds go by and he just goes, fine.
So,
hang on. No.
Oh, great.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Crap.
If I narrate something to you, is there a chance that you'll tell everybody here?
Depending on what it is, yeah.
Possibly?
You go 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. And she goes, what? And she's like, oh, come on. And like falls in the water and goes under the water. As she does that, the lights around you and in this space and in the hallway go out. And all you hear are voices in your ear. It's almost as if a scene's playing out, but you can't see it. And it's a child crying. It's just a baby crying. And you hear a mom being like, shh, 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 it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's what's best for everybody. It's what's best for us. We just have to, it's this is somewhere where they're never going to be able to get you. You'll never be taken. You'll never be sick. You'll never grow old. And you just hear crying and crying and crying, and then you go to like turn around and you can't. And you're just sort of like pushed towards this water. Like your feet are locked and you're pushed from behind towards the edge of the pool, and you hear this voice that's just sort of whispering in your head, and like and the last thing you hear is like, this is good for everyone. And it's Fortunato, you're not walking into this water, you are pushed. And you fall into this water, and the water takes you, and you find yourself on the black sand shores with everyone else. These 4 pillars are standing there. By the 4 pillars is a altar of sorts in the middle. As you guys are looking around at these different pillars and finding different representations of the Greek pantheon, you know this to be, you find the 2 people there, but I don't think you would have any sort of information on, or have any knowledge. You can give me a religion check at disadvantage.
Oh, at disadvantage?
Mhm.
Great.
It's not
It's a
bad.
13. I had a nat 20.
You had enough. It's just not. Yeah, these are. You know, you look, and I will say with the nat 20 that you had before, and it just kind of gets lost. These are definitely representations of gods. You see it. You see the reverence that they're carved into this marble. Before you all is a altar. There's no other way to put it than this sort of white altar.
Remember the book that Daisy had? Does any of these look familiar to you? Remember the book that Daisy had with all the things inside of
Yeah.
it?
You remember Fork Guy in the water?
Oh, there was a fork guy. He had a giant fork and he was standing in the water with the fork. I don't know why.
Remember
Maybe
the
he
dog
wanted to
guy
make
that
fish.
had the 3 dogs?
There was a guy with 3 dogs.
What did she call that person? You said it was something else, but it's just like
What
Do I
depends?
still have
the
book with
fourth
me?
guy, the guy with the
It's known by a few names: Poseidon,
poised on.
Neptune. Yes.
Yeah, I prefer dog guy and fork guy.
Me
You
too.
know, I will say based on your background and you're reaching out, the mermaids pray to, the majority of them pray to the poised dawn.
Like the poised dawn.
Poseidon, the poised dawn.
Like, okay.
It's Marlon Brando.
Like we call it the poised dawn.
They call it the poised dawn.
We were like, we
Yeah.
get it.
We get it.
Dawn.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
So you said it was guy with lightning,
Mhm.
sandals with wings.
Yeah, and these
What
are
were
just
the other two?
these are just some of them. They're all over the place.
Okay.
How
Different,
many
different
pillars are
ones.
there?
4 pillars and a marble altar in the center.
So there are multiple of the gods carved on each pillar. Does it seem to be telling any sort of story?
Give me an insight check.
Is there any?
I'll help.
Does anybody else want
No,
insight?
I'll
check?
help you out. So
Okay.
advantage.
As she starts studying, what are you studying?
Flying shoes.
Me?
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't
I'm
roll
nothing.
myself.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm fascinated.
you're just looking at the. I'll say if you want to, you can take a piece of paper out that you would have on your normal person and start carving in some of these.
Are there any with horns in particular?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's the one I would go towards.
All right, you start carving. You start copying down this drawing. What are you doing, Cliff?
Is there any not wildlife but plant life on
No,
this
they
beach?
wouldn't be there.
On the beach itself,
the horns.
black sand, not
No,
no
nothing.
plant life.
Oh, I know I got
Okay.
it.
No,
Can
I
I
don't think you do.
Inspect the altar.
Yeah.
Yeah, investigation. No, 7.
I'm specifically looking
Four
for
sides.
a red flower.
Four sides. 4 sides of.
Four sides of the altar. There's 4 sides of the altar. There's different like carvings and symbols on these.
Right.
It's almost like a square.
So there's an altar. It has 4 sides,
Mhm.
and then I see symbols of flying shoes guy.
On the 4 pillars, you see a tableau of flying shoes guy.
And lightning
you see
guy?
Lightning guy. You see Guy that seems like he's wreathed in flames. Guy, you see.
Flaming guy.
Cal's gonna walk up and just kind of like see if they rotate, see if the pillows rotate at all.
Give me a strength check.
Uh, 11.
It's just not.
Nothing.
Do you need that one?
Yeah, see if they spin.
I'm gonna see if they
There's
spin.
multiple
Give me a
things.
strength check.
It's because there's multiple things on multiple pylons. You did worse than I did.
That's not budget.
Can I sit on the altar?
Sure,
That's
absolutely.
very disrespectful.
Cool.
That is on the altar.
Nice.
Dun, dun. Cal's gonna take the coin he got from the one lady and like press it against like her picture, see if anything pops.
Give me an Arcana check.
God, come on, when it counts. 7.
Flip the coin. Heads, something happens. Tails, nothing happens.
Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. It's something happens.
You see the image of a baby on the black sand. Like you guys hear it first, and you turn back and look at the baby that's laying on the black sands.
We all see it?
Yeah. And as you guys turn and look, there's this moment where this figure walks out of where this altar is, sort of bends down. They're hazy in this image, and another figure comes walking out of this altar and kind of looks down at where the baby is. And there's this moment of resignation. More figures start coming out of where the center is, looking over the baby. And as they do, they all turn back, and the altar lights.
Oh no.
And the light shoots into the sky.
I would like to reach out with my telepathy and play for everybody in their head exactly what I saw and heard.
Okay, as that
Through
happens,
the water.
Fortunato plays the image of what's happening, of the image, the sounds of a mother with her child. It's gonna be okay. This is where they can never hurt you. This is where they can never find you. This is, you'll never grow old. Like, and the feeling Fortunato had of standing by there and being pushed into the water.
Is the baby like ghostly looking like a thing, or just the figures?
No, just the figures that seem to be like sort of fading in and out.
I walk toward the baby.
Okay. The baby's there, and the baby's just sort of like looking over at them until the figures begin to walk away. All of them, except for one. One goes over and sort of looks at the baby and looks back at the figures as they all walk back towards this center area. And this figure gets down on their knees and waits for the other figures to sort of continue walking, and goes, "Boo." The baby laughs. And the figure smiles. And as the figure sort of smiles and begins to walk back with the others, this little blob of light floats over and lands where the baby is, and the baby looks up, and the little blob of light is looking down at the baby. There's a smile and a laugh, and the little blob of light comes over, and the figure just sort of turns, and these odd Clip, you notice this animal-like legs this last figure had looked human for the most part, except for the animal-like legs as it begins to walk back. Give me a history check one more time, not at advantage.
20. I mean, not 20, 19.
Do you remember who Pan was?
Yes.
Hmm.
He's the god of nature, the one Greek god who died?
The wilds.
The wilds, yes.
The wind in your hair, the smell of dirt beneath your fingernails, the lost. Pan. And he disappears back with the group, but as he goes to the altar, he's not granted passage. And he turns and looks back at the baby with the little floating mist, and Pan sort of sits down and leans up against the altar and flows into the black sand. This imagery disappears. The black sand is still there. The altar is still there. As this image disappears, 4 symbols alight on the altar. One is the fork of the poised dawn. The other seems to be that guy that is wreathed in flames. Another one looks to be this giant monstrosity that's blowing wind at a ship's sails. And let's see. And the other one is a green mother, sort of surrounded by leaves.
You have a tinderbox?
Yeah, I do. So he's gonna put the tinderbox on the altar.
Okay. Tinderbox is on the altar, and as it does, it turns into a flame and floats over to the 4th corner.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna put what's left of the jar of dirt.
Jar of dirt. As it does, there is a small bag inside the jar. As you pour the dirt out, and as it does, it forms into a little dirt ball. There's still a bag in the jar itself.
I forgot the seed, didn't
The
they?
water's gone.
You
What
got a
about-
vial of water?
What if you got a vial of water?
You got a vial of water?
I do. Okay, I'll put the vial up. See if that works.
I missed this part. What's happening?
You want to pee in this cup?
I don't think that'll work.
You can always try.
Where the
Why
man
don't you
is blowing
twist the
into
top
the
up?
sails, I want to blow on that part of the altar.
There was a bottle of water.
A little, looks like to be a little tiny cyclone appears in the corner.
You
And
could
so-
try spitting in it first, but if not,
What
you're
about
gonna have
just
to
the-
pee.
No, that's gonna work.
What about just like a drop of blood?
Just try spitting in it first, and then if not, can you just go over there into the corner?
I spit in it.
You do the little drop of spit, and the mucus gets pulled down and away from the altar, but a
Part
little
elemental.
tiny bit of the spit floats in the air. Not at the same quantity of the other 4 corners of the altar.
You might need to have to pee later.
Maybe.
Nothing?
It's, as you look, it's not enough quantity.
Okay, can you please pee in the cup?
This is so weird.
We'll all look that way, but she's really adamant that
Or
you
you
can't.
just keep spitting.
Listen, I have a thermos with me. If you really have to, if you don't have to pee yet, you can drink a lot of water.
I have an idea. I'm gonna take my cup.
Your moose cup?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it. Let's go put some water in it and put it on there. Let's see what happens.
We hear a glug
Great.
glug
Please.
source of this.
Please.
As you pour the water into the cup,
The skull is the
give me
mouth of
a
the moose.
percentile dice.
As the goddess of the moose.
That's 68.
68.
The moose has turned into a deity and never.
Can't believe you're doing this.
Oh my god.
I think you should have to pee in the cup.
If this doesn't work, I will pee in the cup.
Okay.
Why don't you just wipe some of your sweat off? Just put your hands on the altar. Maybe they'll just suck it out of you.
Take
It's
a
fine.
look at your fur.
As
I like
you
that
pour the
idea.
water into the cup begins to vibrate at a frequency unlike anything you've ever seen. And a moose shows up in the clearing.
Oh my gosh.
And it goes over to where the cup is, and
Could you
it
speak moose?
drinks some of the water from it.
I can't.
Who dat moves?
then
You done move?
and then
That moose, you that moose.
and then the moose will walk forward towards you, and as it does, it will bow its head, and a small package will fall off of the moose's head into your hands.
Can I pet his little nose?
As you go to pet his little nose, there is a sense of completion in the universe as this small wrapped package parcel falls into your hand, and the moose disappears.
What's
I
in
loved
there?
it. I don't know. Let's look.
As you open it up,
Oh my gosh.
Are we sure that was the right moose?
as you open it up and look inside, there is an even bigger mug with the image of a cat on it. The cat has odd features to it, and you can't help but think as you look at this large cup, like, who's that cat?
The quest continues.
That's the best $25 I've ever spent my entire life.
As you all are doing this, you're just spitting continuously into this, like, and after a while, some of her saliva gets it, and she's just like, "There's not enough." Achoo! And you sneeze, and a bit of a sneeze. Some of your sweat intermingles, and sure enough, enough of the moisture from your body is whisked away.
I love
I'm
the
sorry.
moose.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I love
And-
the moose had
I
nothing
drank
to
a
do with
major-
what just
I-
happened.
I drank a major plot point. Is what happened last episode.
It was the water from the beginning of
left it
time,
upstairs.
the beginning of everything. She drank it.
As that
Cow dared me to.
I did not.
as that moment happens, there is a scene as the lights in the stars begin to dim. And it's this odd dim, and you're getting this sense of it's getting colder. This area was not made to sustain life. Something had to happen as these lights around you dim, and it gets colder and colder and colder.
Oh, jeez.
As it gets colder and colder and colder, that scene begins to play some more of this fairy looking around and sort of like the baby crying and the fairy not knowing what to do, and I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. As the lights get dimmer and dimmer and the stars go out one by one, and as the little fire grows and glows, the fairy all of a sudden looks at the child, looks at the fire, looks at the child, looks at the fire, and casts something as the lights go out until it's down to 2 stars. Just 2. Almost as if the clock is stopped right there. Not a second too soon. And there's a moment where you're all just sort of frozen, and you guys are back. You're going back through the water, back through all the different traps. You're watching it play out as a movie. You're feeling the responses, and it's going fast. It's going quick. You're in the room. You're fighting one another. You're back in the food fighting room. You guys are laughing and playing, and it's almost like your bodies are moving backwards and backwards. Through time, you guys are going and you're fighting the creatures again. He's crying in a corner, and you're killing all of those bone creatures and stuff like that. And he's like, when we tell the story, tell them that I killed them all. And you're like, yeah, bah, stomach strike. And like, you're back again. And as you are going through all of these different emotions, as the sea of time shifts and something breaks as the clock goes backward. Tick, 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 to the second you guys are walking into this space and standing in the center of the dungeon.
No.
And a small heart floats in front of all of you. Jewel, red, ruby, in the shape of a heart on a gold chain, floating in the air in the center of this circular expanse. And the only thing you hear is
What next, boys? Girls?
I'm gonna go grab it.
old is she?
28.
Hand passes right.
This one's up to you, honey.
We don't know
Go
that.
grab it. I'm gonna try to grab it.
I try and grab it.
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke.
You go up to it, Slowpoke, and you outstretch your hand. And the last image I'm going to give you is that after you were out of the water and sitting there, you're sitting on the shore, and all the boys have sort of left at this point, and Peter comes over to you, and he puts a hand around your shoulder. How you feeling?
Given circumstances, better than I thought I would. Bad, good, bad, good, good, bad. Both, neither, fine, not good. That was bad, but it's okay. But I don't like it.
You ready? I'm going to make you a promise.
Okay.
I promise. I promise that as long as I'm alive, I will never give you up. You will never be lost. Okay?
Okay.
And he takes out a little wooden sword and he hands it to you. Because that's what we do. We look after each other.
Yeah.
Hands you the sword as you come back, and as you go up to reach this necklace, it passes through your fingers.
Maybe it belongs.
Should we all reach for it at the same time?
Kind of a unity. Everything so far has been togetherness, so might as well.
Just try.
You too, Fortunata.
We should try. Yes.
We're all doing it. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You are.
Oh my god. Sorry, just had a Captain Planet moment.
Yeah.
No, it's hard.
You are on the shores. It is no longer in the deep past. It is current day. The sun is shining, and it's almost the second that you guys walked in. Some of those platforms that are still up are still starting to sink into the Never Sea that you guys used to cross across the way. It's almost as if you've just been pushed into this area.
Are we on the shore of Skull Rock or of
You are on the
island?
the shore of Skull Rock.
Okay.
The sand that was here that didn't have a lot growing around it, where all of you have landed on the ground as you sit up, imprinted in where you guys sit up is a patch of flowers that form the body outline of where you all are. Beautiful red flowers.
Take one.
We take
We take two.
Take two.
Yeah.
Do I see her?
Yep.
Are you still you? Like not a fairy?
Yeah.
Still here?
Eris
Okay.
is still there.
How does one look? Myself or am
You look like a skeleton. You're
I? Without an
calcium.
arm, cool. A little growing arm. Be right back.
Yeah, you go back and grab your arm out of the container.
I'm not quite sure what we've. Have we figured anything out? I feel like we've learned a lot, but I don't know what we've learned. What does it mean? What? It said there'd be the answer to the sickness, but I'm not. Did we find that?
We didn't find the answer to the sickness, but we found answers to a lot of other things.
Well, I think
Found-
we just found more questions, didn't we?
We found what would be like the heart of the island.
A heart.
A
We
heart.
fight together
The
so
heart.
we can fight for each other.
The heart of the island is us.
And play. Is Fortunato there?
Fortunato is there.
I was like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Fortunato is like, listen, this is real serious. And I had a great time with you all. You all are great.
Edwin Reynolds and I.
On the ground in front of you, is a necklace.
Ooh.
It's the same necklace that was floating ahead of you. Use of this as you take some time to look at the necklace. This is the Neverheart necklace. I will read the description, and that's how we're going to close out the episode tonight. There once was a tale older than time, about a long ago heart well forgotten in rhyme. It beat out a rhythm solid and true, to speak to the inner young one deep inside of you. For with this heart, the wearer could see the inner lost one inside of you and me. Never is a story that is often told of pixies and pirates and coins of gold. Though deep within the land, a red jewel beats beneath the sand, feeding the belief in pixies, pirates bold, helping lost boys to never grow old. Like how never boys know how to find a home, so beats the garnet of stone. This little note is held with the note, and it says, Mr. Berry, B-E-R-R-Y. This mysterious yet beautiful object lies at the heart of Neverland, and it feeds the inner child of its inhabitants. A carved chunk of garnet in the shape of a heart does often beat on this little chain of silver, though it is never eerie or unsettling to see. Once thought of as a figment of an overactive imagination, it is a real and very tangible thing. It is believed to fuel the happy thoughts of flight, the belief in pixies, and the inner child in each and every one of us. The pure innocence, when this heart is worn by someone of evil alignment, the heart absorbs the evil qualities and for an hour switches the alignment to good.
Oh.
For 1 hour.
Oh my gosh.
With this heart, you can cast fly upon yourself at first level as long as you are wearing it. Due to the pureness of children and their ability to see right into the heart of the matter, insight checks are made at advantage.
Ooh.
In addition, any persuasion checks made to get another to do something childlike, to play games, and to have fun are at advantage.
May I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grab one.
There's more.
There's more than one?
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I grab one.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I put one on Fortunato.
Yeah, I got one.
Anybody here do not have an alignment of good? Okay, I'm going to warn you now. If you wear this, it's going to change things.
That's right.
If
Crap.
you do not have an alignment of good, over time you will be making checks as this pure heart starts to change things. And you feel it immediately. When you put it on, Des, who may not be the biggest smiler in the world, gets a little like,
Wow.
so
Did you just smile?
so I'm warning you now.
No, this is good.
On. 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 On.
And he saw Des smiling, so he's gonna hold on to it just for a second.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is where we're going to end our adventure.
Oh my
Each of
gosh.
you possessing, it is in the inventory of the Neverheart necklace. I'm going to change a little bit about this in just terms you can cast fly upon yourself once a day for 1 hour rather than being able to fly indefinitely. If someone evil puts it on, they turn good for an hour as their inner child comes out to play just for a little bit. Everybody gets the ability of insight checks being made at advantage. In addition, any persuasion checks made to get somebody to do something childish or play games, they're made at advantage.
Oh gosh, this was gonna control us all.
This is so fun.
You have the first of Mr. Barry's artifacts.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Barry spelled B-E-R-R-Y.
Yes. Oh.
I thought the same thing. V-E-A-R-Y.
Because it was written by a child.
Yes.
But that is where we're going to end our adventure
Oh,
today.
I'm so mad.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to wish our very own Magna a very happy birthday. Thank you for
Thanks.
Debate.
you are a major part of our lives, and we love having you and you playing in multiple games. I'm adding a little present to Enwin's inventory that you can choose to share or not to share.
Nice.
As a thank you. Let's end with a post credits.
Post credits.
Yeah, you guys hand the flowers over, and as you come back to the shore, there is a deep breath as you guys have made it back to the shore, and you've done a little bit of exploring that night. As you come back to the shore and you're standing there's a rustling that comes from the woods. As 8 or 9 lost boys come pouring out of the woods, and 8 or 9 never boys come pouring out of the woods. All run over to the beach, see you all, see the skeleton, and all the lost boys pull out their swords, and all the never boys pull out their swords, and they all look at you, and one of them steps forward. And that's our post credits. We will see you guys soon. We love each and every one of you. Have a great night. You will not. We are going to be very much missing our Clip and our Calcium next week, who will not be joining us. However, Fortunado has agreed to step up and join us for at least one more weekend with the incomparable Edwin Reynolds. And we have a very special guest on the show next week, as Indigo Chameleon's sister is joining us and playing the mermaid named Asphyxia, the murder maid.
Yes! I'm so excited to see Tim next week here.
And it's going to be great. We're going to go ahead and stay tuned with us as we raid Icky B's channel, and we love you guys. We'll see you soon. There's always a spot at the table for you, Indigo Connect, and hey, are we ever going to stop telling stories?
Never.
Never. See you guys soon.